This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
It just depends on.
All right, we're recording now. Welcome to the Evil Never Dies
live cast.
The Evil Never Dies live Evil Talk. And we got a special guest tonight who is going to be my co-host because Carl's wife had to go to the hospital. So I called Greg and he stepped up and said he'd come on. But Carl's here with us anyway for a little bit anyway. So we're here. We were just talking about chickens.
Yeah. Speaking of chickens, I don't know who Hearst Hunter is, but Hearst Haunter, but you know, he's in the chat. So hello, Hershey.
Hearst Haunter, yeah.
What's up, Hearst Haunter?
Thank you for having me. I'm a little under the weather, so if I don't sound the best or I lose just focus, just keep going. But no, I'm happy to be here, man. Anytime Brett or Carl reach out to me and say, "Hey, we need something," I'm there for you guys because
we always appreciate you.
Nah, man, you and I we all started this journey together a couple years ago, and we reached out over the Slasher social media app and became friends. And I'm so happy. It's one of the few times that social media actually did something good.
No shit. No shit. But yeah, we appreciate you, man, for sure. And you know your shit about a lot of shit, so.
As my wife says, I'm a wealth of stupid knowledge. So
well, I am too. And what was it? I was quoting something today. What was it? Lisa was on doing a quiz. She said, "What's the answer to this?" And she didn't even read it. And I said, "Whatever." And I'm like, I know too much dumb shit about music. It's sad almost.
Yeah.
I wish I knew something that mattered a little more.
Like nuclear physics or some shit.
Like something to actually make money off of, right?
And it's sad that one of the questions it's sad that I even knew it. It was like, what song did John Bon Jovi won a Golden Globe Award for? And I thought, that has to be the Young Guns too, Blaze of Glory. And she's like, I'm like, why do I even know this?
Oh, it's sad that I immediately went to Young Guns in my brain.
Right, yeah. Golden Globe. Okay, the only thing Bon Jovi ever did in the movie business was Young Guns too. So,
Jimbo's in here.
That's hilarious.
Hey, Jim, where you at?
He said he can't believe that you're missing Saturday night's main event.
Oh, it'll be on Peacock. I've been getting kind of fed up with wrestling the last few months.
Who is Hearst Haunter? Who are you and where are you from?
Wrestling's been boring the last few months. So I ain't been keeping up with it like I had.
You guys need to get with Greg Amortis over at Land of the Creeps. He's a huge wrestling fan. He could talk your ear off, everything from the 80s all the way up, man.
Well, yeah, Carl wants to do a wrestling show, so maybe
I did, but nobody. Together. I could never get it together, and I don't even care now.
Yeah, Greg he just fucking loves wrestling, man.
Well, Carl knows his shit about that. So
Party City has the fog machines for 70% off. I was at Party City today before Lisa went to the hospital, and me and Miss Scarlett found a bunch of 75% off stuff, but no fog machines, but we got black lights.
Yeah, I seen that. Them are cool looking too.
You guys have Party Cities, man?
Well, we do for a minute. They're all going out of business.
Yeah, we don't have nothing up here, man.
No Spirit Halloweens?
We have Spirit, but only during Spirit, you know what I mean?
Well, the problem with Party City is they were good for Halloween, but the rest of the year they sucked. But I guess they knew they were going to go out of business, so they never put their Halloween shit up. The whole store was half Halloween. and nobody realized it till they started going out of business. And there's some
Oh
pretty
wow.
good crap in there still.
Well, I like that pumpkin skeleton you got. Is that a 5-footer? You never answered me
Yeah,
about that.
dude, I don't know. I got distracted. It's a 5-footer. Yep. We got two of them.
Well, he's way better looking than the one that Home Depot had for sure, man. I should have had you pick me one up. But
Only two left. They're gone now.
oh, you got both of them?
I got them both.
Ah, okay.
See, he's smart, man. When you see that shit, you just gotta buy it. That's why I tell my wife all the time, man. Like, you see it, you just gotta buy it, even if you don't think you're gonna use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I use stuff all the time. Like, look at my friend sitting down here with me. You know what I mean? He's just chilling.
Well, I got this pumpkin that moves up and down. It was sitting there, and I'm like, obviously that thing's got to be broke since it's been here since probably September. Well, I looked and it still had they hadn't plugged in the little try me thing. It was taped up, so I plugged it in, and the damn thing works.
Oh shit.
So,
Worth it then.
Oh, it's C. Kevin Donegan from Georgia. That's who.
that's her son, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, somebody needs to watch the chat better than me.
I like the name Hearse Haunter. That's pretty dope.
It is.
That's a dope name.
My granddaughter just tried FaceTiming me. I had to
block her.
Pappy's working right now, guys. Pappy's working.
Oh, she keeps calling me.
Well, you can't answer because you'll get kicked off.
You'll cut the whole thing off.
Will it cut the whole thing off?
Yeah, don't cut it off.
I think so.
I can't do it.
Might be important though. That's the only thing.
I doubt it.
Have Carl call her. That's not weird at all. Hey, this is Carl. I just wanted to call and let you know that
she knows
Pappy's
I'm
working.
She went to her first NBA basketball game tonight. Went and seen the Mavericks. She got Mavericks tickets for Christmas, and tonight was the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah.
She was on the Megatron and all that, the whole thing.
That's probably why she's calling you then.
That's
well,
awesome.
I done talked to her, but they were in the car coming home, and she was in the dark, so I could.
Jimbo said, "Answer the phone."
Answer the phone.
I answered.
All right, let me see if Discord's got anything going on here.
She didn't even tell me if they won or not. I forgot to even ask her.
Who were they playing today?
I have no clue, dude. I don't follow basketball at all.
Oh man, they were playing the
Cavs.
Cavs.
I used to in the day, but not now.
Oh, I love the Cavaliers, man. But I'm a Northeast Ohio boy. I live in West Virginia.
Cleveland's kicking ass this year.
They have a really good young team. This is great for a horror
good
heavy
for
metal
them because
podcast.
LeBron James screwed that team over so many times.
Multiple times.
They deserve to have a good run.
And that's what when he came back the one year, and everybody's like, "I can't believe you're rooting for him." I'm like, I never hated him. I hated the way he left Cleveland.
Exactly.
The first time.
Yeah.
I never hated him,
and he did come back and win a title. There,
right.
You got to give him credit,
But the way he left was just it hurt.
Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So what's everybody been up to?
What about? I think Brett was wanting to talk about Exodus.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Exodus, yeah. They've had a change in lead singer again out of the clear blue nowhere.
Yeah, Zetro left the band, and they got their old singer that did 3 albums with them. What's his name? Rob Dukes.
I believe that's it.
Yeah.
Sort
I got
of
notes
nowhere,
written here, but I don't want to have to put my fucking glasses on unless I have to. I chicken scratch some notes. I don't want to have to put my birth control glasses on.
You gotta have your old man glasses, bro. You get up there.
It's bad when you get old and you're blind and you can't read your own fucking handwriting.
Hey, I'm teaching 16, 17, and 18-year-olds right now. So like just dealing with them every day, like you realize at 42 years old, like how old they see me, because I still see myself as pretty young, right? Like 42, I'm not that old. And I'm talking to these kids and they're like, "Well, you're old, Mr. Buzz." I'm like, you know what? I would punch you if I wouldn't lose my job, but
Right. Yeah.
it's kind of funny at the same time. So, they have a heavy metal and horror guy teacher, so sometimes it's kind of cool for them, and sometimes they're just kind of like, "You're old." It's fine.
Scarlett was listening to some song today and it switched to another one, and I was about to change. She said, "No, this song is good," and I was like, "At least it's a hard rock song, so that's good."
Right.
I have no idea who the hell it was. It was that new sounding stuff.
I just can't handle that. Like we have, so I teach carpentry, so I have a big wood shop. Is basically what I teach in, and I have a Milwaukee speaker that we play music on. I let the kids pick the music a lot of times, and some of the kids will pick some decent stuff, and some of them will throw on like old school Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash and things like that. But some of them play like new school country, and it's just
That's not the
awful.
worst shit I've ever heard.
It's awful, and I can't do it. Like they'll be like,
Yeah,
they'll
the
like
new
play
school
this song.
country
I'm
is
like, no.
bizarre. I mean, I thought that the last generation of country was bizarre coming from, my dad being a Western swing musician. And then, like you said, Willie and Waylon, and going to what that was now, God, I don't know what to describe it as.
We have such a weird mix of kids, and as far as the type of music, and then I'll throw on like Cannibal Corpse, or like if I throw on like Exodus or old school Metallica or something, sometimes like the old school Metallica they vibe with a little
I could
bit.
see that. Yeah.
But if I throw on anything like I like to listen to like Anal Nathrak or Slaughter to Prevail, a lot of like the newer, weirder deathcore and like death metal stuff, and they're like, "Mr. Buzz, this is a little too much." I'm like, all right, I get it. And I'm
I
a hard.
found that every kid I've ever helped raise, the only band that I can play that all of them seem to like was Kiss. And all of them are like, "Hey, this is catchy. I like it." So,
Yeah, I let one of my kids control the radio yesterday, and he just had a mix playing, and he changed Stairway from Led Zeppelin, and I said, "You change Stairway one more time, and I'm going to punch you." And he was like, "I don't think you're allowed." I'm like, "Well, you changed Stairway, we're going to find out."
right. Yeah.
and then and then after that, Love Gun came on. I was like, all right, now if you change Stairway, let Love Gun play at least, okay? Because
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a big Kiss fan, but I totally dig this song.
Right. Yeah. Kiss is a good gateway band for anybody, though, to get into the rock scene. Brett, we forgot all about your discussion about Exodus. I'm sorry.
Well, I figured he was still trying to figure out how to read his chicken scratch.
Yeah. Did you ever read it?
Well, there ain't nothing much to read. It's just
Oh,
that
well,
a lot of people were, saying why did he leave and all that, and he had to
well, it
leave
seems sort of bizarre that at this point of their careers that they changed singers yet again.
Well, he wrote a statement, and basically it said that he had to take care of his family. He's got kids now, and so.
But and I think we've talked about this before on other shows about like touring musicians and what it takes to make money as a musician nowadays, especially when it comes to older bands that have been around for a long time. You sometimes get that push, to get some people into the local shows or these 500 seat venues and stuff like that. But it's hard. I'm friends with OJ from Byzantine here in Charleston, and like one of the things that him and I talk about all the time is I know what he does for a living outside of music, because it's something that's real. They have to have a job. Byzantine is probably, to me, one of the best metal bands that's never made it huge. They are absolutely extremely talented. OJ is, an amazing vocalist, and he's a left-handed guitar player, which is uncommon. And
That is uncommon.
it's kind of fun to see him on stage and doing these things. And they had a 20th anniversary of their first album last year here locally, and they played a show, and it was amazing to be there with the guys and see some of the great performances. And they brought back a couple old members for the couple performances and stuff, but it wasn't a moneymaker. It was something they did because they're local to Charleston, West Virginia, and it was nice, to see that show. But it's one of the things he says. Like asked him why they don't go to Europe, and he was like, "Well, it costs a lot of money."
Exactly, to haul your equipment and shit. It's expensive.
I can see why my members leave bands nowadays. It's just
for the fact they can't afford to be in it.
Yeah, it's just not. Well,
and plus the venues, they play all these small venues and clubs and stuff like that, and the club wants a big cut of that money. So you got to pay them off, so they're not making shit.
Yeah, you go in and you're making $5,000 with 5 people, and then the venue wants 25% of the cut from your merch price. You know what I mean? So you're walking out of there maybe a couple $100, and you just traveled 8 hours to play in Indiana. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's the return on investment there? We got to pay for fuel, we got to pay for the van, we got to do a load in, we got to do a hotel if we don't have a tour bus. There's a lot that goes into it that people don't realize. You might walk out breaking even, and when I say even, I'm talking about not making any money at all. And you do it for the passion, yes, and to make music that you love and that you love for people to hear and respond to. But at a certain point, it comes down to, we live in a society where we need money to pay and feed our families.
Exactly.
So there's no CD sales anymore.
No.
Whatever they make on streaming, which is not a lot.
A cent a play.
Well, it's like a percentage of a cent for 1,000 plays on a lot of these platforms.
I know Spotify's the worst.
Yeah, I think
the worst.
They're paying all their money to Joe Rogan, so they can't pay anybody else.
Yeah. You're not wrong. But I think there's 0.01% of a cent for every 1,000 plays from Spotify.
Yeah, that's awful.
And if you don't go to streaming, nobody's going to hear your stuff. Remember our buddies Aska, they didn't want to put everything on streaming, and they finally put a digital album out, but you had to buy it and download it, and most people don't have the capability of adding to their library. I've still got my Blu-ray burner, so I can actually burn a CD directly into Apple Music, but it's a tough business now, man.
That transfers also into physical media as a whole. If you think about it, you can see part of my collection back here behind me. You can see mine too, a little bit of it. I've replaced it with Monster some, but that's just a portion of the disc collection. That above my head is a lot of my VHSs above my head. They're
see here, just randomly grab some stuff here.
Yeah, see,
I'm not going to get rid of my CDs. They'll when I die, they'll still be here.
That's exactly right. And
I've got rid of too many of them over the past 30 years that I wish I hadn't have, because, band, I liked them for a week. Now they suck. Get rid of it. And now I find you can't find this CD and it's worth $300 or $400. So
yeah,
I'm not selling another CD.
I'm
keeping them.
Somebody, I don't remember who it was, but they put it in the chat on the thing I did to promote the live show. He wanted to know the worst 80s band that you hated.
The worst
most.
80s band.
Yeah, 80s metal band that you couldn't stand.
All the hair metal bands.
Well, my answer is Poison.
All the Cookie Monster bands.
My answer is Poison. If you consider them metal, I don't know. But
I'm sure whoever it is means hard rock, metal.
JJ Jackson, that's who it was. It was
okay.
JJ
I'm
Jackson.
sure that the mention would be anything that's remotely hard rock or metal.
I told him to come on the live and ask the question in the chat, but I told him I probably wouldn't remember. But
you remembered. Good.
So, JJ Jackson, my answer is Poison. What about you, Carl?
I hate a lot of people from the 80s, and I hated a lot of people during the 80s. Some of them I hated in the 80s, and I now like them, but back then I didn't. There was so much shit in the 80s. I mean, and all genres, from hair metal to thrash to everything. I don't know that I can pinpoint the worst ever. Let me think about it. Greg, you get up to the
Jimbo
plate.
just said our favorite too from the 80s.
Well, let me think about the worst for a minute. If I had to pick the absolute, okay, I've got it. That band Kingdom Come.
You didn't like Kingdom Come?
Fuck no, they were
They
just a
sounded like
complete Zeppelin ripoff.
That's two different sides of the coin there. They sounded like Zeppelin. They sounded like Zeppelin. It's the same answer in two different contexts.
Well, everybody sounded like Zeppelin to a degree, but they were known for just flat like I think Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were literally going to sue them. I just remember that. And I don't even remember. I just remember they had one song that was like, what is this?
No, that was funny.
All right, Greg, who's your
I'd probably have to go with either Poison or Motley Crue as well. Now I have come at my older age to respect them a little more and appreciate kind of what they did, pushing the harder music to a fan base that is not typically there. But I was born in 82, so I kind of like didn't get my 80s music until I was in the 90s, and by then it was really Slayer, Metallica,
Exactly,
Exodus,
yeah.
So I was always more of a harder fan of those kind of things. Like early Metallica was huge for me, and then it started transferring into nu metal. The birth of nu metal with Korn and Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that in the early 90s. And that's kind of where I took off. So my answer would be better served for bands I didn't like in the 90s than the 80s, because most of the stuff it was posthumous for me. You know what I mean?
Okay, so who in the 90s did you hate?
Probably Bush.
Yes.
And I respect
breathe out.
I respect Bush and a couple of their songs being very good, but I really always thought they were overrated.
Yeah.
I thought Gavin was just a pretty boy lead singer. That their band was mediocre at best, and they got a couple flash in the pans, and that it just happened at the right time for the right people in that scenario. And
marry a Spice Girl, and
yeah, I mean, again, looking back at it, there's some definite hits on that catalog, but I don't think that they should have been the internationally wide known band that they are. You know what I mean? But
Raven Pearl is here too now.
Oh, hey, that's my girl Pearl, man.
Is that Raven Black or
no? That's Pearl from the Land of the Creeps.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's Pearl Morgus.
Welcome. Thanks for coming and watching.
Like I was telling you about Gregor Mortis being a huge wrestling fan. That's what Pearl is his wife. And
okay.
As I always tell you, Pearl, you are my favorite part of Land of the Creeps because you're just the sweetest and the best person ever. So
okay, so yeah.
Oh,
there's a lot of bands I hated in the 80s.
Speaking of Greg Morgan, here comes Gregor Morgus now.
There we go, yeah.
My man. But yeah, cool. Get back to the 80s for what was your favorite, Carl?
It's funny because people I liked then I can't stand now, like Motley Crue. To me, they're like an absolute joke of humanity, and they need to be just killed off. Then I thought they were good. I mean, I was young. I grew up with that 80s, hard rock, glam rock. And I went from a glam rock guy to a thrash metal guy. But I'll honestly say, for the 80s, and I'm not counting any other 90s albums, I'd say Metallica was the best. I mean, I like Megadeth better, but Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, those are you can't top those.
Yeah, Kill 'Em All.
I would say
throw Kill 'Em All in there.
Yeah, Kill 'Em All too. Kill 'Em All sounds different. That's why I never include it with those other three. It sounds more like a Megadeth Metallica mix since Mustaine was there to me.
And that's the thing with me.
It was a hybrid.
I've always liked Megadeth's sound. I just don't like Dave. So
a lot of people don't. So I actually prefer Megadeth over Metallica now, but yeah, the Kill 'Em All definitely gets there. But it just Ride the Lightning, Master, and Justice for All. Just nobody put 3 albums out like that, and Then came the Black Album, and that's when they sort of lost me.
Well, and the thing with the Black Album is that came out in what, 90?
It was in 90. Yeah, I think so.
90, 91, something like that. And there was nothing wrong with it. The problem that I had with it, because I listened to it a lot in that time period, it was huge.
I did too. I listened to it all the time in that time period.
Well, we didn't have a choice but to listen to it, right? It was shoved down our throats. And if I never listened to if I never listened to the Black Album again, I'm happy.
I will never listen to it again. The only song on there that I actually like is the ballad, which is Nothing Else Matters, because lyrically, it's the only Metallica lyrically song on the damn album.
No, that's not a bad point. And like I said, a song may come on, and I'll listen to it, but I will never listen to that album the whole way through.
I won't either.
I'll still listen to, an Anthrax album from the 80s. Just name one. I'll listen to it the whole way through. Same with Metallica. I'll listen to Ride the Lightning the whole way through, but I can't do it with the Black Album.
No, I can't either.
So
it's just, like you said, it was shoved down our throats. Everybody was excited because Metallica was the biggest band in the world after being such the underground sensation that they were. It was sort of an amazing time. But
one of the best live shows is that Metallica live in Moscow. It's amazing to see how many people they packed in. They had all of Moscow there, I feel like, and it's cool to see, but half of the set is the Black Album.
Yeah.
So it's like,
wasn't Pantera there too?
Yeah,
they were.
Yeah,
but that's who I would say for the 80s. Through Maiden, Priest, or whoever, I think Metallica had the most impact of the 80s.
What about you, Brett?
I'm going with Maiden, man.
You can't argue that at all, dude.
From 80 on, they just ruled it, I think.
I'm looking at my book over there right now. Iron Maiden album by album. That's one of my books I keep out at all times. It's also by my cassette tapes and my vinyl records, but that's, again, how much of a physical media nerd I am. You can't go wrong with
Maiden. I mean, Metallica just changed my life when I was like, listening to Poison, then I'm listening to Metallica, and I'm like, wow. This is such an epic day, and it changed my musical life. But Maiden, actually, very good pick, Brett.
Yeah, I agree.
I got to go with Maiden.
Yeah,
from their first album on, basically everything is awesome.
Bruce's voice, once Bruce got in the band and his voice became the iconic nature of what Maiden will sound like with him as the front man. It's a good pick. It's a real good pick.
It is a good pick.
I've been a Maiden fan since 1981, man, when Killers came out, I think.
Yeah, that's a good
I bought the album just for the album cover. I'd never heard them before. Bought the album and been a fan ever since. So,
well, who's your worst pick?
Poison, dude, for sure.
Poison, okay. See, now the first Poison album, I was a fan of it. And honestly, I still don't mind the first album. It was the second one on where they tried to become something that they weren't. If they would have just kept doing, kind of glammy party music, I think they would have been better off. But instead, they tried to be like some country band or some blues band, and it just...
Every rose has its
if I never heard that song again, I would pay somebody.
Every time I hear that song, I want to punch a fat kid at Kmart.
Yeah. But Cry Tough from the first album, that's a good song. But unfortunately, they wanted to grow, and they helped kill that whole scene with their bullshit. Them and probably Cinderella didn't help either.
I mean, we can warrant Striper. I can go through the whole thing. Now I'm alienating Gregor Mortis, though, because that's the only thing, because he loves this style. But, there's still some bands like that I do like. Like, I love, the soundtrack from Trick or Treat with Fastway.
Oh, so, yeah.
The soundtrack is good.
That's one of the best soundtracks ever, dude.
Carl, yeah. I will die on this hill that you are wrong. I love you, buddy, but you are wrong. That movie is not terrible.
That movie is awful.
That movie is a classic, and I will die on this hill right now tonight.
We reviewed it. I liked it, Greg. I'm with you, buddy.
I don't even think I watched it, honestly, when we did it again.
Carl.
Well, you know what's having Ozzy in it was stupid. Ozzy was just dumb in it.
Well, I mean, the whole idea behind his character was that it was supposed to be satirical. You know what I mean? The fact that he
Yeah,
was, the priest and all that kind of
I
stuff.
still
Gene
I
did a
think
great job, man, as the
well,
stoner
that's when Gene
DJ
was trying to
guy.
be an actor.
Greg's got Rocktober Blood popping up in the comments now. Have you guys seen Rocktober Blood?
No, I haven't.
Oh my, that is the seller at Amazon probably hates Land of the Creeps because they had to reprint that movie because we all bought it out.
Is it on Blu-ray?
No, it is the worst transfer you will ever see. It's actually on Shutter streaming as well. You can watch it on Shutter, but the transfer is like a rip of a VHS copy that you borrowed in the underground that was ripped 6 times from your friend.
Right.
Oh shit.
So it's so dark, but it's so good. And yeah, Greg's saying Rainbow Eyes. Some of the songs are just so iconic. Rainbow Eyes being one of them, and that I still walk around screaming at the top of my lungs. And again, I don't like hair metal, but when I hear that song, I have to talk about it because it's just so good. Yeah, check out Rocktober Blood. It's a great. It's Carl's not gonna like it. If he didn't like Trick or Treat, he's not gonna
Rainbow Eyes from Rainbow. Is that what you're talking about? Is that from Rainbow? It's the song?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's from Rainbow, but there's a song that's sung by the woman lead singer in the band of Rocktober Blood. It's Rainbow Eyes. So
Greg Morgan loves hair metal. He said it rules.
He does. He is the Southern gentleman from North Kakalaki, and he is a hair metal freak, and I love him for it. But I just can't get on board.
2 bands that I will always like, and that's Winger and Striper. And Striper is actually more successful now than they were in the 80s. And
yeah,
they don't sound anything like the 80s anymore. You know,
they're hard as shit, really.
Yeah, they're pretty hard now.
The only Striper song I even remember is "To Hell with the Devil."
You're missing out. Religion or not, they had some really good, especially some of their modern music is really good stuff. And Kip Winger was a genius. He just got caught up in that whole glam rock thing, and yeah.
Oh, is Greg the one you were talking about, the wrestling freak?
Yeah.
Okay. Carl's a big wrestling freak too. You guys need to get together and do a podcast.
I'm not doing a wrestling podcast. That ship already rolled.
Oh, you'll do it.
No, I won't.
Pearl, I hope Greg is screaming at the top of his lungs in the house right now, and you're having to run from him.
The ship is sunk on the wrestling show.
Striper was my first concert. Winger is great.
Kevin Donegan said that Striper was his first concert ever.
Striper puts on a good show, man.
You want to hear a funny story about my first concert that I remember going to? You never believe what it was. It was Garth Brooks.
I'll be back in a second. I got to talk to Lisa.
Okay, bud. Garth Brooks at the Gund Arena in Cleveland, and I loved it, man. I'm not a country fan, but I saw that, and it was so good.
Really?
Yeah, but this was like 92, like when he was like the height of his pinnacle of, what he was doing back then.
Oh, was that when he did the Beth song and all that? Did the when he was his alter ego or whatever?
No. That was, I don't remember what that was. What the hell was his name then? Somebody in the chat help me out because I don't remember what his name was.
Something.
But I know that this was before that. This was like peak Thunder Rolls and Friends in Low Places and shit like that.
Yeah, there's a thing where people disappear at his concerts and shit. Have you heard that? Yeah, people end up missing from his shows. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't come up missing. I'm still here for all your
conspiracy theory that he's a serial killer and shit.
There we go. Chris Gaines. Good job, Hearst Hunter, right? Yeah. I'm old too. I gotta look really close. Chris Gaines. I always think Chris Angel because he kind of had that same look as Chris Angel.
Yeah, the weird hair. Yeah, the cherry black cherry hair.
It was awful. Like who on his PR firm was like, yeah, let's do this. This sounds like a great idea. Let's do this. Yeah. But since then I've evolved into obviously my heavy metal concerts. But I've also seen I've seen the Coasters in concert from Motown. So I've branched out and seen a lot of things. Not many hair metal bands though.
Boy, I can tell you a bunch about those.
What
The
hair
band
metal
that
band?
you know what really killed the whole glam rock shit for me was what was it? A band named Trickster. When I saw them, I'm like, you know what? This shit is fucking dead. It's over. They need to fucking kill the whole scene. And I didn't realize it was about to die anyway. Trickster was the end for me.
Yeah, they're like the southern rock metal hair band.
Well, they were like a boy band. They were all
Yeah.
like 18, 17 years old. And
Yeah.
Oh shit. Brian Scott just joined the chat. What's up, Brian? Horror movie fanboy on YouTube. Now you can say that. That's a new one for you. Instead of horror movie fanboy on Twitter. Now it's horror movie fanboy on YouTube.
Thanks for watching, buddy. Appreciate it.
Ryan's another one of those dudes. He's kind of like us. He's a metalhead, horror hound guy. So I met him through the Land of the Creeps peeps, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. Except for he likes the movie. Oh shit, Fatal Exam. Is that what it's called, Brian? That terrible movie that you always make me talk about.
Terrible movie.
Oh god, it's so bad.
I love how we have movies that some of us love and others don't.
Yeah. Do you like Fatal Exam though?
I don't
Never
think
heard
I've
of
ever
it.
seen it.
Oh well, don't watch it. Okay. There's one good part, or there's two good parts. There's one part with a head and a coffee table that's pretty funny, and then there's a part with a samurai dude, in a he's not really a samurai dude, but he kind of looks like a samurai dude in a bedroom. It's kind of funny. See, he's saying Fatal Exam. Yeah, see, you just come in here to troll me with Fatal Exam, Brian. I know you did. Mm-hmm. But what did you guys think about grunge? Because to me, that's one of the nails in the coffins of your 80s hair metal.
Grunge was absolutely the worst form of music that ever existed, with exception of maybe Alice in Chains, who weren't grunge, in my opinion. They were a metal band.
I have to agree.
But Cobain,
Alice in Chains and Soundgarden,
that fucking Pearl Jam. Oh my God. You know, that didn't last long either. Grunge had a very short lifespan. And it was pure shit. I can't stand anything except for Alice in Chains.
Wow.
Pure shit.
Don't even like Soundgarden?
No. Them guys weren't even, they didn't know how to play their fucking instruments, half of them.
But Chris's voice, though, man.
Yeah, I know.
Cornell was good. I think they went, he was better off when he left Soundgarden by far.
Jesus Christ Pose.
What was the band after Soundgarden? Him and
Velvet Revolver.
No, that was Scott
Weiland.
Scott Weiland and the Guns N' Roses guys.
Yeah, Audio Slave is here.
Audio Slave. Now that was good music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Audio Slave. I just did not. I actually knew who the hell Soundgarden was before they got big, though. I had their first album, so I was familiar with them. I just think they fell into that grunge. Oh, we're going to make $1 million thing, and sort of sold out just a bit there.
Temple of the Dog. Yeah, Brian, I will fight you over Fatal Exam, but Temple of the Dog. Yeah, Temple of the Dog was great. You're right.
Yeah.
Temple of the Dog with Eddie. I'm not a big Eddie Vedder fan, but I love it. Yeah,
I think Pearl Jam was the worst of all of them bands.
See, what did you guys think about Nirvana though? Because I'm a huge Nirvana fan.
Not a big fan.
You know, I like to talk shit about Nirvana, but then I think of certain songs and I'm like, well, you know,
they are talented.
So I like that song.
They were talented artists for sure, but overall,
I think their sound is really what changed the game though. Because when you listen to their early stuff, you know, even before Nevermind and, you know, anything from the Muddy Banks to the Wish Call and stuff like that, it's some of the most intense. And they were doing things on stage that was real similar to the punk scene right?
Yeah.
Kurt
It
Cobain
was.
going nuts and freaking out and damaging stuff, and all that stuff was really, really cool. And I think that's what kind of brought that teenage angst back to music, really,
Well,
because
Gene Simmons even said that he loved grunge because it did bring back sort of the rebellious,
yeah,
kick somebody in the mouth, and that it was missing. Because,
well,
they put out Revenge during the whole grunge thing, and that was a pretty rough, Kiss album. They were starting to get back to the roots of Kiss there.
you may have just gave Gregor Mortis a boner talking about Kiss again.
Carl is the biggest Kiss fan. He's got a tour jacket from the final tour
that Eric Singer gave me.
Carl's like buddies with them all.
I'm telling you, this is a match made in heaven. You guys are both.
He's got bottles of the vodka.
Gene Simmons vodka. Yeah, Gene gave me. I've got a Moneybags hat that the tour the guy that was running the vodka is like, "How'd you get that hat?" I said, "Gene gave it to me. He wouldn't give me one of those hats." I'm like, "Sorry, dude."
Yeah, you guys are both huge Kiss fans, both wrestling fans. You guys are. I'm pretty sure you guys are brothers at this point.
I'm
telling you, man, multi-million-dollar podcast right there.
Hell, I could do a Kiss podcast probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be on that show. Unless you wanted somebody to be negative the whole time about how they're old and need to just hang it up finally.
They have hung it up. It's over.
They've hung it up, Carl.
No, they're done, dude. They're done this time. The whole cartoon thing, I don't know what that's about, but
oh man.
Gene's off touring on his own now. Gene is the only one that can still sing. So
yeah,
he's off touring with the Gene Simmons band.
Yeah, he's coming to Dallas too, ain't he?
$300 a ticket.
Fuck that.
I thought you were the biggest Kiss fan.
Carl's probably gonna go.
I'll go.
Yeah,
I just think $300 a ticket's a little much for.
I don't have $300 to spend on Gene.
We're going to see Ice Nine Kills at the end of April.
Ooh, them are like $500 a piece, ain't they?
Yeah, it's a 2-day show, but my 7-year-old is obsessed with Ice Nine Kills.
Well, that's awesome. You're taking your kid to see a concert, man.
Yeah,
now that's some modern metal that's good shit right there.
Yeah. To me, it's more pop metal, right? It's not even metal core. It's what I would classify as pop metal. But you know what? If it gets my 7-year-old listening to anything that's not, shit, I'm down for it. And I'll be honest, their music is catchy as hell. Spencer is an obvious horror fan, and he writes his music based off of that. And I'm really excited because now my son today he was wearing a Jason Voorhees shirt all day long and just happy as can be. And I look at that and I'm just like, that's my kid. I got Jason Voorhees tattooed on my arm.
Right.
He sees that and he's I have an Art the Clown statue, animatronic sitting across from me, kind of waving at me right now while I'm talking to you guys. And he comes down here. He's not afraid of it. And like I was talking to my other teachers in my school yesterday, and I told them, about my room down here with all the skeletons and skulls and creepy shit. And I was like, my 7-year-old goes down there, guys. Like, and you're afraid of an animatronic? Like, come on. Like, so it's kind of cool that we're going to see them. But I couldn't see, I like to spend a lot of money on like concerts, but it's like more of the festival side, right?
Yeah.
But
where you get to see more than one person or two people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your money's worth out of it.
And so this is a 2-day show with Ice Nine Kills, and there's a couple local bands or somebody with them, but for him, I'll do whatever it takes, right? So Ghost. Greg, I didn't know you like Ghost.
I like Ghost. I used to. I think Ghost has lost their way now.
Well, their first 2 albums were fucking immaculate. Like they were
agreed.
Absolutely.
Me and Brett saw Ghost opening for Maiden, and they put on a good
awesome show.
Yeah,
I saw Ghost at the local rock station had I think they called it I forgot what, but Ghost was headlining it. Freaking phenomenal show.
I got to see them in Pittsburgh for Good Friday. You want to talk about a cool show? Go see a satanic band on Good Friday. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah,
it was really
I think Ghost is sort of. I don't know what direction he's taking it now, but it's certainly not
Well,
Not interesting to me anymore.
What I can say is Tobias is an artist, and he likes to express himself. His art is his music, just like most musicians, but
It is, yeah.
him specifically really likes to express himself through his sound. And obviously there was some stuff with the previous Nameless Ghouls on the first 3 albums, and they didn't feel like they were getting compensated versus what he was getting paid and all that kind of stuff. But the band itself still makes some hits. The song from the Halloween movie was still really good. And the rest of the album's okay, but Hunter's Moon's really good, so they still have those one-offs, but nothing like those first 2 albums will ever be.
Nothing like that. You're right. I agree totally with you on Ghost with that.
Greg says they went the Black Album way with the radio play.
They did.
You're 100% right. That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way of putting it. I never got to Lollapalooza, Brian. So you kind of got me on that one. I didn't get to Ozfest or Lollapalooza, so that kind of sucks. But
we had a Lollapalooza out in the freaking woods of Texas that Metallica was headlining, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I didn't go, but Video Bob, my buddy, went and was interviewing people, and it was a shit show.
Oh, really?
And I think that was about the end of the road when Metallica headlined Lollapalooza.
Pearl dropping that ST Suicidal Tendencies.
I love Suicidal.
Hold on, let me pop my bill up for you. I don't know if it'll stay up, but yeah, CST, get that flat brim, get it rolled up, get that ST across the bottom.
I've reviewed a couple of their albums on midweek shows.
I love Suicidal Tendencies. I've seen them live twice. They're so good.
I seen them back in the day out in California with a crowd of like 250 people.
Oh my God.
They also had Infectious Grooves, their side project.
Yeah, that's where Rob Trujillo came from, wasn't it? It was Infectious Grooves, right?
It was.
Yeah, so that's and Rob's probably I love Jason Newsted and his bass play, and I even like his solo stuff, but Rob is such a special bass player to me. Like
he fits Metallica so much better than Jason ever did.
I think he's so good.
And I like Jason too, but he just never fit.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of the Dave Mustaine, scenario. With what those 3, Kirk, and once he came over from Exodus, and then with James and Lars, they were just who they were.
It's the 3, yeah. They just, and I think Robert's fit in better than anybody since Cliff.
To me, he's probably the best musician out of all of them.
He is. He is.
Kirk plays a hell of a guitar, but I think Rob's probably the best musician. So
Kurt's always been about my favorite member of Metallica because he's always seemed like a genuine dude.
Well, and he's a horror guy too.
He is.
Which is what I love. I love the fact that he does. I think he has his own convention, and it's in Arizona or something like that, isn't it?
There's a thing on Shudder. So. He does a little thing on Shudder.
Yeah, I've always liked the fact that he's anybody that has
collection and shit.
Yeah, anybody that has that horror and metal thing is kind of they're my
special.
People. You know what I mean? So
but he just seems like the most normal between Lars and James. Just seem like total douchebags. And I know he was at somewhere in Dallas, and somebody was trying to get him to sign a guitar, and they're like, "Oh, he won't sign guitars." He's like, "You know what? Screw you." He has told his handlers that. Grabbed the guitar and signed it, and you could tell the bodyguards were pissed off.
Oh, really?
By Metallica, hired hands or whatever. He was like, "Yeah, fuck y'all," and he signed it. And I thought, that just shows that dude's legit, man.
Yeah,
I give him a lot of credit.
You say that they haven't really put out their best music with Rob, but that's true. But Death Magnetic, it does have a good bass track.
Death Magnetic is a fucking phenomenal album.
It's got a really good bass track through it. It's probably not the most showcaseable. It's definitely not anything like the early stuff with Burton, but it definitely showcases the bass more than the rest of the albums. Anything
I felt like Death Magnetic should and could have been a follow-up to And Justice for All if you skip the Black Album. That's how I look at it.
Well, you'd have to skip that and load and reload.
Yeah, well, I skip all those. I'm just saying that it felt to me like Death Magnetic was just taking
reload.
Fuck all the loads and reloads and
maybe they were coming and they just decided, hey, we should name our album Come.
Right.
We can't name it Come. We'll name it Load.
But yeah, I think Death Magnetic was definitely the best thing they put out since Injustice for All.
Yeah, and I don't remember the name of the last one. It's got their faces on it.
Yeah, I listened
It's
to it and
not
tried to
bad.
make myself like it, but after a few listens, I just sort of lost interest in it. At least they sound like Metallica again. I mean, credit where credit's due there.
Ace is charging $500 to sign a guitar. Holy shit!
That don't surprise me. Not at all.
Oh my god! I still go to bands that sign shit for free after the show. So like I'm not the best judge of character when
Ace shouldn't used to be that way, but
I go see
he is
what
he's
drives
got
the week or something, you know.
he gets all these women that he's with, and this chick he's dating or married to now, it's all money grubbing, and Ace has really lost his way. Everybody always shits on Gene and Paul for shit canning Ace and Peter, but you know,
Wasn't
sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Ace, which one's he? Is he the Starman?
Yeah, Spaceman. Yeah,
Spaceman?
Star
Yeah.
Child. Or no, the
Face
yeah,
man.
Wednesday
Spaceman.
13. Greg, I think I've seen you say Wednesday 13 earlier too. What are you saying about Wednesday 13? You just asking if the guys like them?
I like them.
Yeah, they're good. I like
I do
Wednesday
like them.
13.
I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan, but I listen to them. Yeah.
Meet me in the fucking graveyard at midnight. Fuck yeah.
I don't really have much to say about Wednesday 13. They're not in my playlist, I guess. But they're not bad. I mean,
They're not bad. Yeah, they're a good band.
They're like a good Joker horror band, is what I consider them, you know. They play some fucked up shit.
Pearl, you're the best. Thanks for joining us. Oh, they were cool to approach afterwards, Greg. That's cool.
Damn, I didn't put enough vodka in that drink. Shit.
I thought you said it was strong.
This is my second drink. I didn't put enough in.
Oh,
Since I'm about to be having to go back to the hospital, I just drank me some of my liquid death.
which one you got there? Is it?
This is a cherry obituary.
Oh, I've never had the cherry. Is it
It's
good?
good. It's almost like a red Mountain Dew.
Oh, really? I'll have to
Yeah,
try
I'm
I,
sort of hooked on it now.
I like the armless Palmer.
Yeah.
I like that one. It's a grave. So
But when I can't drink, I'll throw down a liquid death because I don't drink sodas anymore.
Oh, really?
I ran out of mixer, so I'm only drinking with water.
Oh,
Yeah, you're doing me.
So you're saying you're going to
Me
be
and
hammered
Carl.
in a minute?
I told you, Vinny Paul taught me that trick. All he ever drank was vodka and water after he got kicked off of the whiskey by his doctor.
Hey, Christine's here.
Christine Collier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, girl?
Girl, I haven't talked to you in months.
Yeah, we haven't done
I don't think any of us have heard from you much.
She's still on Facebook, but we haven't done a Zoom in a while.
I think this is a replace that. We're going to start doing this about once a month or something, I think.
I think so too.
And you know, you guys, I'm gonna put a little self plug here. I have that Discord. Brett just joined it today, and that Discord, I've made it, and we're building it right now. There's not a lot of people in there right now, but I'm really looking to have as many people in there as possible to do these sort of things. If you want to do a watch along on a movie, schedule it, and then you can use that.
Yeah.
You can use that Discord as your chat. You just log into the Discord on your phone and you have that chat open while you're watching the movie and talking to all these people that are also watching. I love
Discord, but I can never get people to jump aboard. And every time I try,
I'm the same
disappear.
way.
And I've tried numerous things, even like in D&D gaming, we've tried Discords, and I can't get people to hook into it.
It's such a good platform. There's
different channels. It's a great platform.
You can follow the different channels. You want to do a top 10 list and put out this month. I'm doing my top 10 Valentine's horror. You can go to the top 10 list and start listing it down. You know, I was on Land of the Creeps last week. They just put that episode out, and it was for our top 5 of 1990. And I had such a great time talking about the year of 1990 horror because it's such a forgotten year. Like the 90s get shit on, and 1990 had such a banger year. And I've been talking to one of the other hosts on Land of the Creeks, Bill Van Vagel. Him and I chat pretty much every day on Facebook. And him and I were talking about 1991. 1991, I can still probably make a top 8 of 1991 movies. Like, people are shitting on the 90s all the time, and we forget that there are some classic movies that we love and we go back to all the time, and we're like, oh shit, that is a 90s movie.
I have the same. I think my problem is I always go back to Scream and like, that ruined, horror movies there. But you're right, the 90s has a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, and just a little spoiler. One of my favorites from 1991 is called Haruko the Goblin. It's an Asian film that is absolutely fucking bonkers, like weird.
What's the name of it?
It's called Haruko the Goblin.
Brett likes the Asian films.
Bro, this is by far one of the most bonkers films you'll ever see, but it is so cool and weird in the way they shot it that it's worth the watch. It's got elements of The Thing with the monster. It's got just elements of did you guys ever see Battle Royale? You guys are looking at me blankly, so I'm guessing you guys have never seen
I don't think so. It sounds like a wrestling show.
Battle Royale is one of my favorite Asian films, and it's kind of like the Hunger Games before the Hunger Games became a thing. It came out in 2000, so there's elements of even like that kind of style that's shot in this very like One Cut of the Dead type scenario. It's such a good film. It's not a good film, don't get me wrong, it's terrible, but for me, that's one of my favorite movies is Bad Taste and Basket Case. I
remember Bad Taste and Basket Case.
Yeah, Basket Case 2 came out in 1990, and it was my number 2 film of 1990. So
Isn't Basket Case on the list, Brett?
Yeah, it is.
You guys have not covered Basket Case yet?
Not yet.
If you do not have me on for that show, I will. We'll never
bring
talk
you on
because
I'd like to do Basket Case.
Yeah, I will never talk to you again. So
we'll bring you on. Yes,
it's probably the best stop motion film ever.
I love stop motion shit, man.
That scene with Belial at the end is just the best thing ever. Oh, Greg, stop talking about Invisible Maniac. And have you guys seen Invisible Maniac? That's another. That's a 1990 film. It's I described it as Nudie Cuties meets The Invisible Man.
Well,
yeah, Hellhole.
Hellhole.
Yeah, horror movie fanboy. Did y'all see 2024 Hellhole? That is our friends, the Addams family, who did that movie.
Yeah.
It's on Shudder. That's a fucked up movie, dude.
It is very fucked up.
You guys know the Addams family as well. I think you got in contact with Toby because of me, didn't you?
Yeah. Still haven't. They're so busy, man. You can't never get them on.
Yeah,
we've really gone indie on a lot of stuff here this year too.
Yeah, we love our independent films. We love our independent horror for sure.
We're associate directors of Redhead too.
Yep.
Associate producers.
Have you seen Redhead yet, Greg?
It's
gonna come on streaming soon.
We'll get them to send me a link.
We will, yeah. Freaking that. We think that was. They looked at me like I was crazy when I told them I think this is one of the best films of the year. Period.
My favorite movie that I saw last year isn't even available yet. It's still on the festival circuit, and I'm friends with the director and the star, and not because I'm friends with them that I think it's the best movie I saw last year, but legit, it's the best movie I saw last year. I became friends with them because I was covering the film festival they were playing at, and they were there. And I'm like, you guys are my people. And they had never made a horror movie before, believe it or not. And I'm a huge comedy horror fan. And this is a comedy horror horror movie with takes on the Chainsaw Massacre and
I'd like that then.
And Pieces and Ed Gein, and also social commentary on women's beauty and how they affect their lives. So you put all that together and you get this mashup of just chaos. And Anthea does such a great job bringing Cheryl to life, but the movie's called Cheryl, and it's the best movie you haven't seen yet.
Oh, I think you've talked about that before. I've heard you talk about that.
I will talk about this movie until it ships, and then even when it ships, I will be the champion for it from that point on.
That's how we feel with Redhead.
Well, send me Redhead, and I'll
get it to you.
I'll get Justin and Anthea to send you Cheryl if they can. I know it's on.
We'll do a switcheroo
because it's on the festival circuit, so it's kind of hard to get it out. But Brian
they're still on
Addison.
They've won like 17, 18 awards at all kinds of film festivals and conventions and shit.
Yeah, they're kicking ass.
They're very talented.
And
we had them on the show. Did you watch? We had them. We interviewed them on the show.
Justin and Anthea?
No.
Redhead.
Yeah, Redhead.
No, I didn't see that.
Sam and Jonna.
But if it was on YouTube, I don't get a lot of YouTube stuff done. So.
And they put us in the new trailer too. That was awesome.
There we are in the trailer.
That's
I
awesome.
got Scarlett with me. She wants to ask Bubby a question.
Hey, baby head, why are you wearing glasses, huh?
Because he's old.
You got caught with your glasses on, Brett.
There you go, little one.
Gregor Mortis, what's eye candy?
Well, I hate to be the bearer of news, but me and Scarlett are about to have to go see Lisa. They're going to keep her for the night, so.
Well, best of luck with everything.
Yeah, she doesn't have pneumonia, so that's a good thing, but she's got some other stuff going on.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to buzz off here.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on for a little bit there, Carl. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Glad to be there. It was fun.
Carl, man, I miss you, buddy. Let's talk more.
Yeah, we're going to have to start doing this once a month. And you send me some stuff on the Discord, because I, like I said, I've been trying to get Discord going, and I've never successful at it. So maybe we get there this time.
All right, I'll send you, and I'll make you a mod once you join it. Then that way you can help me run it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd send it to me, and I just downloaded it tonight and got on there. So.
All right. Well, we will talk to you later, guys.
All right, later, buddy. I appreciate you. Send my love to Lisa for me, band, for sure. Well, it's just us now, buddy. What's up?
I mean, unless you want to get somebody else in here. I mean, I'll talk to anybody. You know me, man.
I don't think there's anybody unless anybody wants to come on.
Chat. Is it Brian Scott, Greg Morgan, Christine? Who's out there? Come on in and talk to us.
I don't have Messenger or nothing on this computer, so I can't send links. Well, I guess you could send somebody the link. You got the link.
Yeah, you figure if they want to come on, I'll send them a link. I don't care.
Yeah, send them the link. Have them come on. I don't care. The more, the merrier. That's fine.
I just love talking to people. You know my general rule.
I know, man. You're awesome, man. Fucking love you, brother.
I love you too, man. Like I said, this is one of the few times that social media kicked ass and jumped on and actually helped out.
So have you seen Nosferatu yet?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I went I didn't get to go on Thanksgiving or on Christmas Day, but I got to go shortly after.
We went New Year's Eve and seen it, and it was fucking awesome. We reviewed it, and we like if you watch the show, we had our friend on from Australia, and she watched it the same time that we went and seen it in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we actually sort of got to watch it together, you know.
That's dope.
And then had her on the show and we reviewed it. So yeah, it was fun. I love that movie, man. Did it get nominated? Did you see the Academy Awards?
No, I saw it didn't get nominated for Best Picture, but I did see The Substance got nominated for Best Picture.
I haven't seen that yet.
No, Greg, you have the crud. I have the crud too. I literally have a headache with a bullseye right here, but I'm still here talking. But anyway, I took my break from podcasting and doing any kind of content whatsoever for about 6 months, remember? And because of that, I didn't even watch horror movies or anything. I just kind of focused on myself and my family and all that kind of the way we were talking about with Exodus earlier, right? And I just really had to sit down and think about why I wanted to do social media in any way. And then I became a teacher and I was starting to deal with students every day and all this kind of stuff. And it just really changed everything for me. But now that I'm back, I'm trying to catch up on 2024 movies, and The Substance is probably my next watch because it's such an influential film.
Oh, so you haven't seen it yet either?
No.
Yeah, it's not on streaming yet or nothing. So
yeah, you have to rent it.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind to pay for a movie, you know what I mean? I have no problem with that at all. But like I said, when the movies I was watching while I was on my hiatus was like my classics. Like I watched all of the Lord of the Rings. I watched, all of the Star Wars. I watched Shaun of the Dead, my comfort movies. I watched Basket Case. I watched Bad Taste. I watched Frankenhooker. All these different things that are just they're my comfort picks, The Exorcist. So even though some of my
I just watched The Exorcist the other night, dude.
Well, and I know it sounds weird, but that's a comfort movie for me.
Yep, me too.
And it's like, when even though I was watching some horror, because horror never leaves my life, it still wasn't like I wasn't pushing for new stuff at the time and all that kind of stuff. Christine, I sent you a link to the Zoom. So, but I'm back now, man, and have I kicked like myself in the junk just trying to throw myself back into it. I have a street trash episode coming up with Bill Van Vagel and Mike Stanislawski, which is the return of Monsters in the Mosh Pit. And I did the show with Land of the Creeps. I did a show with Headlong into Monsters recently. Like and now I'm doing this with you guys, even though I feel like shit. And it's just, I'm throwing my ass into the wind and I'm just saying, fuck it, let's go.
What are you drinking tonight, Bretta?
I don't even have a name for this, man. Tonight I was like, what do I want to drink? And I said, you know what I want? I want some Coke Zero, okay, as my filler. And I was like, what do I like with Coke Zero? Well, I like vodka in it, so I put some vanilla vodka in there. And I've got this new drink that I made for my drink for Land of the Creeps. I made the Land of the Creeps coffee for their show, so it's called Grind Espresso Shot. And it's a coffee liqueur, but it's like a really intense coffee flavor. And I don't know if you've ever had Coca-Cola with coffee, but it's dope. Like it is one of the it's so good. So it's that. So I don't know what to call it.
Like Coke with like black coffee, or
it's like Coke
coffee, or
no, it's like Coke with black coffee, and then the vanilla vodka adds just a hint of sweetness to that black bitterness. So it's good. And
okay.
I don't know, like I said, I don't know what to call it, but it is Coke Zero with espresso liqueur.
Black Death. How about that?
Oh, that's good. See, because they have a Pantera had the black tooth. I couldn't call it black tooth, but
Black Death works, huh?
This is good. It's really good. And Greg, I'm happy to be back, man. And anytime you'll have me back on the show, I will fucking come with bells on. You know that. Christine, where you at? I sent you the link. Brian Scott, get in here, man.
Come on, let's get everybody on here. What the fuck?
Gregor Mortis is being a bitch because he doesn't feel good. He's got the crud. Which I hope you. I do hope you feel better.
Haven't got no anybody wanting to come on yet.
She says that she's trying. I got a burp. What was the last movie you watched?
The last movie I watched. I haven't been really watching movies. I've been watching series.
Well, what series you watching?
Have you watched The Penguin?
No.
Oh my God.
I want to.
It has really nothing to do with Batman other than it's Gotham City.
Yeah.
It's like The Sopranos meet Gotham City is what it is the way I can explain it. It's fucking awesome. Colin Farrell or whatever his name is, he does such a fucking good job, man.
Yeah. Well, that's
you don't even know who he is. If you didn't know who he was, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, everybody's saying to watch it. They say it's amazing.
It is.
I haven't had a chance to watch. My wife wants to watch it, and that's part of the problem. Because when she wants to watch something, I have to wait for her. Because if I watch it by myself, then she gets mad. So
I binged it in a weekend, dude. All 8 episodes, man. And it's like
that's what I would want. I did that with Secret Level, which is a video game based cartoon.
Still have no people wanting to come in. Here we go. Here comes Christine.
Brian recorded a 5-hour podcast just now. I will join, but I'm slap happy.
Wow, 5 hours.
Okay, can you guys see me?
What's up?
There's
Hey,
Christine.
what's
Hi,
up?
girlfriend.
I haven't talked to you guys in forever. How's
You're on
everybody doing?
YouTube.
What's that?
You're on YouTube
Oh my
live.
gosh, how exciting.
And you will be on the Sunday episode too, because I'm recording it.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I got on when I did because I saw the substance.
Oh, you did? What'd you
I
think about
loved
it?
I really liked it.
I heard Demi Moore does an awesome job in it.
Oh, she is incredible. She totally deserves the award that she got. She got what was it in? Was it the Emmy that she got?
Golden Globe.
Golden Globe. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch it. I just haven't had a chance yet.
I loved it. I thought it was such a good just whole take on the whole industry and how everybody's so obsessed, with how they look. It was just a really good I'm trying to get my words here. Really good take on how obsessed people are just obsessed with how the whole industry is on youth and looks and nothing about like people's substance, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah, just all about outward appearances and what people are willing to do to maintain that.
Yeah, from what I've heard, that the social commentary around it is huge, but it doesn't like hit you over the head. Like it tells the story that it wants to tell in a way that it drives the story, and then it gets the message across, which to me is the best kind of writing. Like, get your message out, but don't, I always use this example. I know you got a penis, I don't need to see it type scenario. You know what I mean? So like, that's kind of the way I like my movies too. Don't hit me over the head with your social commentary, right, but give me the story and let it run. Carl's still in the chat, buddy. So that's good.
My dog.
Oh, we got a puppy.
Oh, we've got quite a few puppies, but this is Jack's.
Yeah, you got a rescue going on now, don't you?
Well, I'm an admin for a Pomeranian rescue and networking group, so I'm always trying to.
It's always weird, like the different jobs we have as horror creators and heavy metal people, right? Like you do, Christine, someone that I've talked to many times about horror movies and stuff, and here she is rescuing Pomeranians.
Pomeranians and other small breed, But yeah,
I love it, man. We really are the best people.
Pomeranians, what can I say? Yeah, I love trying to help people.
I don't know if I've said this before, but when I used to do cable TV, I had this customer, the people, husband and wife, they were both deaf, and they raised Pomeranians.
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yes, and they had probably 20 of them in their basement at one time.
Well, that's a lot of dogs.
And I would have to go down there to fix the cable TV.
That's too many.
And they were deaf, and the dogs were all barking at the same time. And
yeah, small dogs, especially.
I'm yelling at them, telling them what the problem is, and they're deaf; they can't hear me.
Didn't bother them.
And I'm trying to drown out the dogs talking to them. It was just not a good situation.
Yeah, they're barky.
That's too
funny. They can be very barky. Yeah.
Well, when you got 20 of them at the same time, what's this guy doing down here?
Oh yeah.
Like, it was awful.
See,
Every
Brian,
time I got an order from them, a service order from them, I was like, oh my God, I got to go to the Pomeranian people.
Brian, that's what I'm talking about. You said it's smartly written and the theme is not in your face. That's what I want out of a movie. I don't want the theme to overtake the movie that I'm trying to enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, once you see it, you're gonna have to let me know, and we can compare notes.
It's on my. I have to watch. I have to rewatch Street Trash. I know that's terrible. but yeah, I say that jokingly because I absolutely love Street Trash. So I have to watch Street Trash, and then I have to watch the new remake of Street Trash this weekend. I was going to do it today, but I didn't feel good, so I took a 3-hour nap, which is not like me. But so tomorrow I'm going to watch those two, and then hopefully next week I'll be able to sit down and watch the Substance.
Yeah, I actually joined a streaming service just so I could watch it.
Which one is it on? I thought you had to rent it.
Well, no, it was a Mumby or something like that.
Oh, Mubi, Mubi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did a free trial and then I joined it.
Okay.
Just so I could watch it.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's one of the ones I'm excited for. I did get to catch up on a lot. Sorry, I gotta take my hat off. I got an itchy head. Sorry, and I put a hat on because I know this is so bright. Like, look at that. Oh my god.
Fine.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've been shaving my head since I was 22 years old. Give me a break here. Anyway, Street Trash 1987 is so good. Yeah, buddy, you know me and my love of those type of movies. It's one of my favorites. Anyway, but I did get to catch up on like Immaculate, but I haven't seen The Heretic. So like I've hit some big ones and I haven't seen other big ones. Like The Heretic, I really want to see. The Substance, I really want to see. Bill Van Vagel and Dave Becker talked about one called Mike and Serial, which is only like 62 minutes long or something. That's on like YouTube or something that I want to watch.
Mikey Cereal.
Mike and Serial.
Oh, okay.
But not spelled like cereal the foods, Serial the killer.
Oh, like serial killer. Yeah.
Yeah. So like those are probably my top 3 on the queue right now that I really want to watch, because they like Mike and Serial kind of sound like my genre, whereas The Substance and The Heretic are milk and cereal. You're right, Greg.
Okay.
Sorry, Milk and Cereal, not Mike and Cereal. Milk and Cereal. But cereal spelled different. So those are kind of like the top ones that I have right now. So I'll have to let you guys know what comes up out of it. But other than that, that's really all I got going. Immaculate was good. Did you guys see Immaculate?
I haven't.
No, I haven't. No.
I liked Immaculate. I got into a fight with Ashley from Headlong into Monsters about it, but
I watch so much stuff on Shudder now that I don't remember what I watched.
I use
like,
Shudder.
I look at it and I preview it and it's like, oh, that looks cool, and then I watch it and then it's like I don't remember I even watched it. There's a lot of stuff that I've watched on there a couple of times.
Like today I don't, but normally I have my TV's right over the fireplace right there, right? So normally normally I have it going while I'm down here, and I'll do one of these while I'm talking to people, but since we're on YouTube, like I felt like I had to pay attention and like actually like face the screen. But normally when we're doing a podcast, I'm doing this and I kind of have my feet up type scenario, and I'm doing one of these and I'm looking at the screen while I'm talking to the screen type scenario, and I always have whatever Shudder's playing at the time just on. That's one of my favorite things about Shudder is they always have a movie playing.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that. So I don't really click on stuff on Shudder anymore. I just kind of watch.
I saw Smile too.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much as the first one.
See, yeah. I've heard that people like it more than the first one. So you're the first one I've heard to say you didn't like it as much.
I didn't. I liked the first one way much better.
Really?
It was okay, but
it did pick up where the first one left off, which I thought was kind of cool.
It actually had a pretty good story to it,
No spoilers. No spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
That's all I said.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet. So.
And I did think the ending was kind of interesting.
I forgot about that till you just said
I'd give it a 2.
You give it a 2. You do out of 5.
Yeah.
On yours. So yeah.
I was gonna say I'm out of 10, so I'm like, wait, a 2?
No, he does out of 5.
I gave Fatal Exam a 4. Come on.
I would say at least 2.5 for me. At least 2.5, maybe 3, just because it almost does kind of. You think one thing.
See, Greg and Brian are both saying they like Smile 2 better. See, I know I know I wasn't crazy.
No.
I didn't see the first Omen, Brian, so I can't talk on the first Omen yet. I do love the original Omen though. It's in my top probably top 25 of all time.
The original or the remake?
The original.
Yeah, we reviewed that, I think. Yeah.
I'm sure you shit on it because every movie that I love, you
No, I
guys
love
shit
The
on.
Omen, the original. I seen that when I was very young. So
Talking about the Omen.
yeah.
I thought you said Element. Okay, the Omen. Oh, the Omen's creepy.
The remake, I can
see.
do
I like
without
all.
it.
I like all the Omens. I like 1, 2, 3, and the remake. So it's kind of hard for me.
Yeah, the one with the little girl and it was creepy as shit.
It was really hard for me to make the decision to try to watch the first Omen, and that's why I didn't. But it was weird because I'm not normally like that. Normally, remakes and stuff don't bother me at all.
Oh, the
And,
first Omen. Yeah,
yeah.
that wasn't bad. I watched it. It wasn't bad. It was like the prequel to the Omen.
Yeah. Well, and there's and maybe Brian or Greg or you guys can help me out with this. There's also a prequel to Rosemary's Baby. It's called Room something.
Oh,
know
yeah.
that.
I think I watched it.
And-
I didn't care for
I
it.
haven't seen that either, but I really always liked Rosemary's Baby too. But I can't think. There was one called Room something.
That was Mia Farrow, wasn't it? Rosemary's
Yep.
Baby.
Now,
Yeah.
if they did a remake of that and did it good, it would be good, I think.
I think it's kind of hard. I think the original is really good. I don't know. It's kind of like a classic.
Well, what's really hard for me
What's
is
wrong with his eyes?
Apartment 7A. There you go. See, I thought it was Room something, but Apartment 7A. See, I knew my guys would be there for me.
Apartment 7A. Okay, yeah.
It's hard for me, who's such a big fan of independent movies, to see all of the I'll watch them. I love watching remakes. Like I love the Evil Dead remake. I love the TCM remake. You know, there's a lot of things that I really like about remakes, but there's so many good IPs out there.
Except Halloween Ends.
I liked Halloween Ends. I didn't think it was the best out of the trilogy, but it was fine. It didn't have a spot in it like Halloween. I love Halloween Kills, don't get me wrong, but the spot in the whole section of the hospital annoyed the fuck out of me with the evil dies tonight shit. Oh my god, it annoyed the fuck out of me. But anyway, what I was saying about the independent films is there's so much untapped IPs out there, so many of them, like Cheryl, that needs to be picked up on a distribution deal after it's done with its festival run. I watched a festival movie. It was a short film. It was called like Dead Men Ride Again or something like that. And it was a Western comedy horror movie about zombie apocalypse. You want to talk about?
I've seen something. I think you posted something about that. I think I checked it out.
Probably one of the most fun movies you'll see that's only 15 minutes long, right?
Oh,
it's like I would love to see that universe expanded, but instead we're gonna get another remake. Like someone's gonna come around and say, "Hey, you guys loved John Carpenter's The Thing. Let's remake it again for the third time. Hey, you loved The Fog. Let's remake it again." You know, can we stop?
Exactly.
Like I love these films. Like we just found out they're remaking the Labyrinth, right? Now it's one of my favorite directors in the world.
Del Toro or whatever. Wasn't that Del Toro?
No, it's
Guillermo del Toro.
Edgar Wright.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, The Blob 88 is amazing. The Thing, I don't count The Thing as a remake though, Brian. That's different. And the 1990s, that 1990 Living Dead, yeah, that was on my list for 1990.
Yeah, Carpenter's Thing is awesome.
I think Carpenter's Thing was taken from the source material, but not a direct remake. So I'm a little bit different on that one. But do we need another Labyrinth movie though? David Bowie was so good in that movie. Like, do we? And I love Edgar Wright, but is it the right person for it? I don't know. He made Shaun of the Dead, my favorite horror movie of all time.
Love Shaun of the Dead.
But he made
movie.
He made the movie with what's her face?
Come on.
Oh, I forgot the name of the other movie he just made recently with the mirrors and stuff. But anyway, Last night in Soho. That's what it was.
Oh, that was awesome. I love that movie. That was a good movie.
What, Greg? You're saying The Labyrinth is going to be a sequel, not a remake? It's not Eggers, is it? Eggers isn't making Labyrinth. Eggers is making a werewolf movie, I thought.
Carl says we're keeping this format. It's awesome.
It's just me bullshitting at this point. This is what it's like to work with me. Like, we had lunch yesterday, and our teachers, and we don't have a teachers, we have a teachers lounge, but we never sit in there. We were sitting in somebody's office, and somebody was telling a story about a Ouija board.
Come on, I ain't seen no likes yet. Everybody hit that like button. Come on.
The Ouija board. Who says Get Away with Nick Frost was good? Oh, Get Away. Okay. I thought you were talking about getting away from Nick Frost. I was about to punch you. Brian, you and I are already fighting.
Carl says a remake of Phantasm. Who could they get for the tall man, though?
Eggers is attached to the Labyrinth. Are you sure? I thought it was Edgar Wright. Maybe it is Robert. Maybe it is Eggers. That's two people saying it's Eggers now, so maybe I'm wrong.
So what? Nobody else wants to come on?
I guess not. I sent Brian Scott the link. He probably just didn't see it, or he's dumb.
It took me a while to get on. I had trouble. My husband had to help me.
I can't do technology.
I had issues. Yeah, my husband had to do it for me.
Oh man! All right, Greg. You said Robert Eggers. I believe you, but I don't believe you. If that makes sense. Because didn't they just announce that Eggers is doing werewolf, like a 13th century or 18th century werewolf movie?
Ooh, that would be cool. But wasn't there one out right now about a werewolf?
Yeah, the
coming out.
We seen the preview when we went to go see Nosferatu, and
yeah, it doesn't look that great.
I think Greg's seen that.
Yeah, it's the one with the girl from Julie something.
There's another one out called Werewolves too. It's supposed to be like when the wolf moon showed one night and it turned 1 million people into werewolves or something.
Oh wow!
It's new out too now, and
that kind of sounds like an action horror type movie, doesn't it?
I think I'd rather see it than this werewolf movie.
And the one that's coming out or just came out.
Yeah.
For the girl from Ozark.
Oh, okay.
I think
Now that's the show they needed to keep going was the Ozark.
I love that show. Yeah, that was really good.
I never watched the Ozark show. My wife loved it, and she kept. Yeah, I watched like a couple minutes of it, and it like I don't know why it just annoyed me for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know if it was like, and I love Jason Bateman.
You know what it sort of reminds me of is weird. Like if they did a series of The Mist. It's like you don't know what the fuck's out there, you know, like what's out there, you know, shit, sort of like that, you know.
I love The Mist.
I liked it. I thought it was a good show. They should have redid
it. We talked about that yesterday at work too. The Mist, and because one of our other teachers, she had read the book, and I was like, "Have you seen the movie though?" And she's like, "No." I said, "Do you know how it ends in the book?" She's like, "Yeah, I read it." I was like, "Okay, well then watch the movie." Because I didn't want to tell her it ends totally different. It's a mind fuck, yeah. But I kind of want her to see that, you know what I mean, without knowing it. Because that's how we saw it. We didn't know that was going to be the ending, you know. So
exactly. Yeah, that's right up there with like The Sixth Sense or whatever. You didn't know.
Oh, that was such a good movie with Bruce Willis. That was a great movie.
Which one?
Sixth Sense.
Oh yeah. I enjoyed The Sixth Sense.
I actually seen that at the theater, you know.
I did too.
And it was like,
what year was that? Was that 99?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have my phone or Google it.
Well, yeah, I'm just wondering. I think I saw it in the theater, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that was back before we had a lot of the streaming services, and you could watch a lot of stuff at home.
Werewolf.
Thank God for streaming.
I know. I love my streaming.
I
Yeah,
know.
I watched today. I just watched the Kevin Costner 3-hour movie, Horizon. Is that what it's called?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's been like, I think he bought the rights to it in 1988, and it's going to be 4 movies.
Oh, really? And the
Yeah.
first one's 3 hours long?
Yeah, I spent 3 hours because it's been so, well, for me, it's been so cold out here. Didn't get past 60 degrees.
Oh, man.
I know that's t-shirt weather for you guys.
Look out. I have 6 inches of snow still.
Yeah.
You still got 6 inches of snow?
Yeah, man. We got
Oh, you're in the
pummeled.
mountains though, man. Shit.
Well, I mean, we're on the down part of the mountain. We're in
You're in the
holler.
foothills.
Yeah, we're in the Appalachians. But
Oh,
it's
Foothills of West Virginia.
but it's yeah, we still got like 60. My son wanted to go out and sled ride today. I was like, nah, man, the sun's out, it's gonna start melting, it's gonna get muddy in spots. We ain't
Oh,
going.
that's the funnest when you pack it down like ice. That's the funnest time, man.
That's-
oh, man.
So we have 2 driveways, and our one driveway is nothing but like it comes downhill into our yard, and it's nothing but a sheet of ice. Like,
Oh, that's awesome,
like
dude.
I've fallen down it 3-4 times. Silas has fallen down it 3 or 4 times. It's like we there's a permanent like slide like now down that section.
That's like bone breaking.
Oh yeah, I'm too old to fall down now, man.
Yeah,
I fall
exactly.
down now, and it's like my hip is sore for a week.
Well, I'll tell you what, I fell 2 years ago when we had the bad ice storm here. I fell and I got out of my truck and I stepped down and my foot just went up in the air, but then the other foot went up in the air, and then both feet were above my head.
It's fun when
I landed on my shoulder, and my shoulder I still feel it. So
it's always
Especially when
the
it gets
best.
cold. Like, you know, it's going to rain when your shoulder
yeah,
hurts.
exactly.
You stand up, and you know you're supposed to be standing up, but you look at your feet. And you're
Yeah,
like, I thought I was standing, but now I see my feet. So that means
exactly.
That's never good.
that means pain is imminent.
Yeah.
That's 6 cents.
So
Hold
what's
on.
going? What else is going on?
I'm trying to read what Pearl said here. She's
Trying to look at my notes here.
Imagine if they made a sequel where the kid an adult and has to help the kid like Bruce did. That would be pretty dope. Pearl, I don't know. I think with the 6 cents, I had such a good time with the fact that it was a one thing. You know what I mean? But that is a different take on it. I never thought of it that way. Like, so you're saying like the kid himself has the power to help other people, I think is what you're saying then. Or are you saying the kid dies? Because then that would be kind of cool too. Which I have another theory that I saw on TikTok today that I want to ask you guys about. Have you guys seen all the Terrifier movies?
Yes.
I have not seen any of them.
Christine, why?
No.
Why have you not seen the
Because
Terrifier?
I don't
Why
like.
not?
No, I like I like
Gore?
scary movies that are like suspenseful where you use your mind. I don't like gore.
Gore is fun.
No,
Just watch it for us.
gore is gore. Well, is one
Blood
of them on
is-
streaming now where it's
I
like
think all 3
All
of them are.
on streaming now.
All 4 of
Ugh.
them technically. 'Cause you should watch All Hallows
Yep,
Eve.
All
as well.
Hallows Eve. That's the beginning of it all. You need to start there.
I generally don't like slasher movies.
It's not slasher. It's just down.
No?
It's just
It's just downright blood
Gore.
and guts.
Oh,
Right? Or-
yes,
yeah.
yes.
I generally kind of stay away from gore.
Just watch them.
it's a beautiful thing.
It
Like,
is. It's a
Right.
beautiful thing.
like
That's a true sociopath. Yeah.
hey, I am an educator. I'll have you know. Like
I know you're a teacher.
I am a true blue. Like I am molding young minds here. Like I can't be a sociopath, right? That's
kind of a
that's what
scary thought.
that's what they tell me at least.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
but you are.
No, I'm not a sociopath. I
know, man.
I would say that
I bet you're a good teacher, man.
I don't know about that.
I wish I would. If I would have had a teacher like you in high school, I probably would have stayed in for sure.
Maybe I don't know. I'm very honest as a teacher. One of my goals in life is to be the most honest human being I can be. Right? To me, that's That to me is what it comes down to. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care what your religious views are. When it comes down to what I'm trying to get across, I will be honest with you. If your work sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks. Okay. However, I can do it in a way that's constructive to the point where you're going to learn from it and get better. And that's how I present my lessons to these kids. So it kind of works. And that's the way I do with these kind of things. I may jokingly say, like, you know, when Carl said that trick or treat was terrible, which it's not, and I will fight you, Carl. But at the same time, I respect his opinion on it, even if it's wrong.
Exactly. That's the way it should be. You know, everybody's got their own opinion.
Well, I still want to put out
that brings in good discussion.
It does.
Right, okay, but what were you going to say about the Terrifier movies?
Well, are you're going to be spoiled by it? So that's the only thing.
Well, that's okay. I may not watch them, so go.
Okay. Well, I know Brian and Greg and Pearl, you guys may have a to lean on us, and Hearst Haunter, you may as well. I don't know if you're still in here or not, but I don't know if you've seen the Terrifier stuff. But I heard on TikTok today, they said, "What's your most controversial take on Terrifier?" And she said that she thinks Lauren Lavera's character is actually Art the Clown.
Okay.
And she says, when you think about it, every time something's happening, they're pleading with her when it's happening. She's there when they're dying, and they're pleading with her. So what if all of this stuff with Art is actually in her mind, and she's the killer? She's picturing Art doing the killing, but she's the killer herself.
Well, you sort of see that in this last movie.
Well, she does go crazy, right? When she stabs him and then he disappears.
Yeah.
And there's all of this, and her dad was seeing visions and creating weapons to help her fight against this thing. Maybe he saw that she had this double life in her mind and this crazy. So what do you guys think? I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think that too. That could very possibly be, for sure. Because she's fucking whacked already as it is, you know.
Well, look at how she reacted in part 3 to the girl that was asking the questions, and like when she was saying, "I would love to, talk to you about this," and could you? And they said, "You want to fuck Art," and then Art's there in the background, doing his little and all that kind of stuff. And then when she meets him and all that happens and stuff, what if that was actually Lauren's character doing that instead? Do I think that this is true? No, I don't think Damien's going to go that way at all. I think David being Art is what makes Art, and having that changed would be awful. But I thought it was a good theory and just something to talk about.
That's a good theory. Good theory. They're all going to be at Texas Frightmare Weekend this year too, and I just applied for press passes, and I'm hoping that we get them again this year.
If you get a chance to have a beer with Damien and David, do it, because that's one of my highlights of the 2022 con that I went to, just sitting down with them and having a beer and chilling. It was kind of fun.
Well, that'll be awesome, man.
All right, let's see. Bazzelli got to see the substance has some gore in it. Pearl,
yes,
I promise you, I will watch it this week. I have to watch both Street Trash movies, but I will watch it right after those. I promise.
Yeah.
I feel like part 4 will end in mythology. I agree, Brian. Seen All Hallows. Oh, we just totally spoiled the entire series for you, Hearst Haunter. I'm sorry. But don't think it will happen. But with the doorway to hell, anything could be. Maybe Brian. She may be able to take over because be a new Terrifier, but her dad said there was good in her. See, that's why I don't think it'll happen, because the dad was so focused on the fact that she was good and created the Valkyrie storyline, in the comic book around it, and created that sword and all that kind of stuff. That's why I don't think that theory is true, but I did think it was a great theory. Evil is art. Yeah, maybe she's the good form of evil's art. I want art versus Papa Corn to happen. Papa Corn. Why do I know that name? What's Papa Corn from? Oh, look at Cameron Parsons showing up saying handsome feller. You talking about me, or you might be talking about Brett. I don't know.
Definitely not me.
Brett's pretty. Well, you're handsome too, but you're more beautiful, Christine.
Yeah, handsome is not for a girl.
I know they ain't talking about me because I'm ugly as shit.
So am I, homie. Don't feel bad about that at all. I am only a face that a mother could love, and my mother's gone, so there ain't nobody that loves this face.
Oh, your wife might disagree.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, Christine, you need to watch the Terrifier movies for sure. You need to start out with the first one, which is All Hallows Eve. It's not as bad as the next ones.
No, it's not as gory.
It's like a trilogy, sort of, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's an anthology.
Anthology, yeah.
Yeah. But Art has something to play with each version of each storyline in the anthology. So he's still the center.
It's still kind of brutal, but
he's kind of the wraparound character. And actually the wraparound itself is probably the most brutal part
exactly.
of it. Circus of the Dead. I know the name Papa Corn, and I could even see his face in my head. So but I just couldn't think of the movie.
Butterfly one.
Yeah. Circus of the Dead. I'm gonna have to put that on the list.
Carl says he knows it.
Where's Tiffany isn't on?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I haven't seen or talked to Tiffany. Her and I used to talk on Facebook all the time. I haven't talked to her once.
Tiffany, yeah. Where is she on now? No.
Hallows Eve is the tamest version of Art.
Yeah, that's probably true for sure.
But who in chat, tell me, who watches Terrifier for the story and who watches it for the gore?
I'd say most people watch it for the gore, probably.
I watch for both, man.
I watch it for the gore, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Which is why I don't watch it.
Look, Terrifier 1, though, first one, with the chainsaw down the middle of the girl.
See, okay, I'm out right there. I'm out.
That is the most brutalist.
It's not a chainsaw, it's a hacksaw, for one. He has to physically go like this.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Yeah, it is. So you're right, it is a hacksaw.
And
I am out.
She's hanging upside down naked.
Oh, God.
So you can imagine where he splits her.
Still not. I'm even more out. No. You just ruined it for me.
You gotta do it, Christine. You gotta do it.
I don't want to see that.
So one of the things I really enjoy about, and Christine, this is how I explain it to people when they say, how can you watch that shit? I watch it as a form of art, right? Because
exactly,
to me, if you were to look and it was 1590 something and you got to see Dante's Inferno, the amazing painting in Italy, that would have fucked you up. Okay. But seeing it was part of the whole allure. And when when you get to see that and you get to see the 9 levels of hell and how he painted it and how beautiful it was, but at the same time, how macabre and how different, it's something that you have never seen before. And your mind has to process that. That's the same way I feel about seeing these elaborate kills in these movies. I sit there and think, I'm like, what would it look like if somebody took liquid nitrogen and put it on somebody's head and then smashed it? Right? I don't know. I'm never going to see that in real life. Hopefully, thankfully, right? That's the goal is to never see anything like that. Nothing like, I've never seen war, thankfully, in my lifetime locally. I wanted to go when I was a kid to sign up for the army, but I couldn't. I have asthma, I have bad knees. They said no. And thankfully I haven't, because that would have taken a different route with how I look at things, right? I have friends that have done that, and they don't see gore the same way I do. I see it as beautiful storytelling and art. When I see an Argento film and he paints the picture of this beautiful white interior, okay, all the characters in white, the room is solid white, and she's sitting there and she has her arms on the table, and a knife comes through the window and chops her arm off, and she's holding her arm and walking around the room spraying bright red Italian blood everywhere.
Tenebrae, baby.
I didn't want to spoil the film. I was going to let her
What did you
find
just
out on her
say?
own.
Tenebrae. Dario Argento Tenebrae.
But when I see that, when she holds that arm and she goes like this and she sprays it across that wall, that to me is art.
Me too, brother.
Yes,
The
it's gory,
arterial spray.
but it is something that I'll never see. So when I think back of the medieval paintings and I think of somebody that walked up to that painting and seen, the first time Dante's Nine Circles of Hell, going, that's fucked up. I like this. That's kind of how I see it.
Gotcha, brother.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Yes, exactly. Same way I feel, man. Especially with the effects that people are able to do.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
I am such a big fan of practical effects. It's just, and Argento was a big practical effects guy.
Yeah, when you get back and like get the Fulci, Argento, and some of those avant-garde, and Greg could probably talk about this now that he's with Ian doing the Black Gov Mysteries even more than I can, because they've watched more Italian movies recently than I have probably my entire life, which is crazy since I grew up with them. But you get into Savini and Baker and all of these great special effects artists. That's what changed my life when I was a kid. My uncle sitting me down telling me, hey, this is all fake and people get paid to do this shit. I was like, oh, okay, let's pay attention to this. When I saw Faces of Death for the first time, and here my little 7-year-old brains thinking this is all real, and he's like, oh man, it's all fake, man. People
I
get
thought
paid
those
to
were
do this
real.
shit. Now, Faces of Death splices in real footage, but all of the actual segments are fake, except for like when the crocodile eats, like I think it's like a chicken or something. That's real. But yeah, that's all fake. Now there is one from Germany that I have not confirmed whether or not it's real or not, or fake, but it's called Traces of Death. Don't watch that.
Yeah, that's
I've never seen the Faces of Death.
Traces of Death is very, very much gross. And it may be real, and it may be actual snuff film, so don't watch that.
Oh no.
Well, we reviewed Argento's Suspiria.
Yeah.
And just the colors in that movie are just phenomenal, man.
And the way he chooses colors to convey certain feelings.
I know, exactly.
Oh my God. It's so good. Have you ever seen any Argento films, Christine?
I don't think so. What films did he do?
Start with Suspiria. I would say start with that.
Well, my favorite is Deep Red.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's my favorite. Deep
Is
Red
this the woman with the arterial spray?
Well, it's not arterial. It's more venous. It's more from the wrist. So, but that's Tenebrae. That's not any of the two that we're talking about. Suspiria is really good. It's part of his.
Suspiria is probably his biggest hit.
Yeah, it's part of the Mother of Tears,
and they did a remake of it too in 2018, I think,
which is good as well.
Yeah, they did a good job for a remake.
But I love Deep Red. Deep Red. So you're familiar with the term giallo, Christine? Are you?
What is it?
Giallo.
Giallo films.
No.
Okay.
Italian horror basically is what it means.
Okay.
Giallo is yellow in Italian. So back in the day, they used to write novels that were like horror crime thrillers, and the covers of them were always yellow.
Okay.
So they started calling them giallo books. Well, then they started adapting them into movies and they became the giallo subgenre of horror. And you have this huge push, especially in the 60s, 70s. That really dies off kind of in the early 80s. But 75, Deep Red comes out, and it's by far my favorite. Giallo is my favorite Argento movie. I own it on 4K, VHS, and DVD. I think the only thing I'm missing is Blu-ray on it. But it's Italian movies never shot with live audio. They were all ADR, all dubbed, because of copyright, or not copyright, but what's the word I'm looking for? Dictatorship, legislation, censorship. Because of censorship and the quality of audio they had and stuff. So that takes a little getting used to when you're watching a dub, but all Italian movies were dubbed. So you get used to it after a while. So like when I'm watching The Psychic, which is my favorite, probably my second favorite Fulci movie of all time, Lucio Fulci. My wife hates that movie. The opening scene with the overbearing screams and stuff like that. She's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" But to me, it's part of the charm of an Italian horror movie. So when I see it, it's different. But
so that all evolved from the spaghetti westerns, and all that back in the day. All that Clint Eastwood was, his career wouldn't even be what it is today without the Italian spaghetti western thing.
I'm looking back at chat right now. Greg, are you not recommending that Christine watch the guinea pig films, are you? Because I don't even think Brett and Carl can handle the guinea pig films.
What do they mean by guinea pig films? Did they kill guinea pigs or something?
No. That's not what happens. But they're some of the grossest movies ever made.
Oh, okay. Doesn't sound like I would enjoy them then.
There's the Asian guinea pig movies, and then they came out with what's called American guinea pig movies, which I've seen all of them, and they're not for you.
Okay. I will trust that.
They're not for you. Let's see. Greg says no. Banned from TV, Death Face Brutal, Bird with the. All right, so here's some more recommendations from Greg over at Land of the Creeps. He says Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Cat and Nine Tails, Phenomena. Those are all giallos that are really good. Brian Scott says Bay of Blood, which is by a lot of people considered one of the first slasher movies. Pearl says watch Two Evil Eyes for Dario's story.
Two Evil Eyes. I just watched that the other night, actually.
Pearl, didn't you just talk about this on the 1990 episode? Was Two Evil Eyes? The Black Cat adaptation, the first story from Romero. That's Dario Argento and Giorgio Romero.
Yeah, I like George Romero.
Yeah, that's an anthology they did together.
Deep Red is great, Brian. It's the best giallo ever made. I'll fight people on it. Giallos are not my favorite, but I appreciate the Italian cinema, the colors, and guess who the killer is. Yeah, I agree, Pearl. Yeah, offbeat.
You look too comfy, Christine.
I'm very comfy.
Get your pillows hanging there.
I'm on my bed. I've got the dogs. Yeah, I'm doing just great.
I was reading Brian's comment. This is an offbeat girly that is amazing. Then he says Giallo underneath. It must have been autocorrect. But I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? But Amsterdam, yes, that is a great movie. It's okay. I'll say it's great, but it's not. It's like 6 out of 10 at best. But the boat scene is 10 out of 10. Pearl says, "Stay away from the guinea pig movies." Christine,
thank you.
Human Centipede.
Pearl needs to come on here.
Pearl,
I would
love Pearl to come on.
What's his name? Harvey from. I drank beer with Harvey from Centipede 2.
All right, so like even me, who loves weird, fucked up, gross movies, Centipede 2 is messed up.
It is.
Like the first Human Centipede was like, okay, this is a really cool concept. It's different. It has something going for it that not a lot of other films do. And then with part 2, they just said, nah, fuck that. We're going to gross you out to the point that you want to throw up. I was like, I've watched it twice, and I don't think I'll ever watch it again. And I've only watched
the first Human Centipede. There was what, 3-4 people.
Centipede
2, there was like 100.
Yeah, so in
5 or something.
In the first Centipede, there was 3, right? They were sewed together, and then in the second one, I think it was 100.
Yeah.
And the third one, they go to 1,000.
There's 3.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Yeah. Well,
if you haven't seen Human Centipede,
I have no desire to see that movie.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Pearl, have you watched the Creep tapes yet? She says, "Watch
Creep ones."
Yeah, the Creep tapes.
Oh, that's on Shudder too.
Is it on? It's either on Shudder or Netflix or something like that. But I know it's streaming somewhere. You said you were Brett. You said you were watching series. That's a little mini series.
Yeah.
Evil Eye, 1963. Evil Eye. That's a Mario Bava film that Greg just mentioned. Bava was another one of the Fulci, Bava, Argento. You get into some of those like that, and Bava is really good. So, Christine, you have your homework. Italian cinema.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
Good. You see what my last.
It's not really gory. It's, you know, Hitchcock. They got the. In Hitchcock. A lot of ways, it is Hitchcock oriented.
Yeah. If you like Hitchcock, do you like Psycho? Right?
Yes.
You like Psycho?
Oh, okay. I love Psycho. Yeah.
So one of my favorite films of all time. Number 3 favorite film all time is Rear Window.
That was another good one.
Okay. However, I will tell you that when I watch a Hitchcock film, the tension and stuff is really what I'm watching for. What Giallo does is it takes that tension and that whodunit scenario.
Exactly.
And they amp it up a little bit, and they add a little bit more of the slasher aspect of it with the black glove killers and different things like that. And then they add a little bit more of the gore. There's not so much gore. When I say gore, I just mean blood, right? So like people think Texas Chainsaw Massacre 74 is gory.
I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I did like that movie.
And it's not gory at all, right?
There's no blood hardly at all.
No, right. It's just kind of like just on the edge of your seat.
So and some people think that Hammer films are really great. And Hammer used that really orangey red blood, right? When they used it. And that's kind of what the Italian films did. They kind of took all of these genres together and they mixed them together in this semi-low budget Italian filmmaking. And it's something special. It's a very unique niche. It's not for everybody, but you have movies like Pieces, Deep Red, Cat of Nine Tails, The Killer Reserve 9 seats and stuff, or 7 seats, whatever it is. Those kind of movies, they're a little bit different, but they add something more to the genre that it helps when you look back at people like Quentin Tarantino, that was a huge fan of.
I like his movies.
Well, he was a huge fan of giallos and a huge fan of exploitation films. So all of these kind of things culminate into what we're seeing now. And that's kind of the best part about it. But to me, like when I watch a giallo or an Italian cinema movie, even I'm not a big spaghetti Western fan, but I'll watch a spaghetti Western fan knowing how it was made and where it was made, because I like that look, that cinematography, the actual production of it, even though I'm not a Western fan. Western's kind of one of my blind spots as far as filmmaking goes.
Horror movie fanboy said, Christine said she loved Romero, Day, then Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, I like that movie.
Dawn of the Dead is my favorite zombie movie ever.
Yes, Dawn of the Dead was very good.
I seen that at a midnight movie when I was like 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
And never looked back.
Yeah,
Romero fan forever.
Yeah, he's
I've seen it before, actually Night of the Living Dead, because you couldn't find that back in the day, you know.
Yeah, I love a good zombie movie.
So wait, But here's my okay. You're getting me, Christine. Here we go. Here's the analytical teacher part of me now. You can handle Dawn of the Dead's gore.
I do. I love good zombie movies.
So you love zombie movies. Have you seen Fulci's Zombie?
No.
Which is technically the sequel to Dawn of the Dead if you're in Italy. It's called Zombie 2 in Italy. But Fulci's Zombie has nothing to do with Dawn of the Dead. Don't get me wrong. They just did that for marketing. But you can watch Dawn of the Dead's gore.
Yeah. I guess what I don't like is, I guess when I think of terror horror movies, I think of like, to me, it's kind of like horror porn.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So, but here's my thing though. So you can like I felt like you were a little worried about the giallos. You don't have anything to worry about giallos. The gore in giallos is nothing compared to what Savini does with Dawn of the Dead. Nothing compared to that. So the closest you'll get is with maybe Fulci movies, or Diodaro or something along those lines. Which I'm gonna go on a limb and say you've probably never seen Cannibal Holocaust or any of the cannibal movies anyway.
No. Well, I think I have seen some cannibal movies. Desert Cannibals. I cannot think of the name of it. Inbred.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Hills Have Eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, and even that's very bleak. That's a very bleak movie. But that again, the gore doesn't really add up to the side of it. That's a dark movie, but you'll be fine with giallos. I 100% believe you'll be fine with giallos. And I again, my personal favorites are probably not what you need to be introduced to, like Pieces or Deep Red or The Psychic, which The Psychic is probably nobody else's favorite, but I just really enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I have a soft spot for it. I just like the way I'm a huge fan of the.
It sounds like I'd be fine with those movies then.
But some of those other ones like Cat of Nine Tails and stuff like that.
So yes, I don't mind gore if it's like that kind of gore.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
I just don't like what they refer to as the
like torture porn and stuff like that.
Torture porn. Yeah, I don't like torture porn. Yeah.
That's fair. Slave of the Cannibal God, that's a good one. I was always a fan of Cannibal Ferox, Greg, which I know is like I love Cannibal Holocaust because for one thing, you can watch Cannibal Holocaust and actually just put the score on because the score is absolutely gorgeous. But Cannibal Ferox is just fucking brutal.
No idea what that is.
Well, you got a list now.
It sounds like I'm getting quite the list.
I don't know that you'll watch. I don't know
the
that
Argento films are it's not really gore, really, just blood.
Dead
Alive. Have you seen Dead Alive?
No.
Oh yeah. Got a good score to it.
That'd be a good one for Christine.
I think Iron Maiden's in that.
There's one movie that I like that I like the movie score. I think maybe even better than the movie. It may have been a George Romero. It was like a family of killers, like the grandpa. They had this house.
Oh, that's Texas Chainsaw 2, I think.
Was it Texas? I don't know.
No. Hit her again, Grandpa.
No, that's the first one when he does that.
Maybe the Allman Brothers, like a really popular 70s band. But yeah, it was a family. And one of them, I think, was a clown or had like the name of a clown.
Are you talking? Was it more recently? Like you're talking about like Devil's Rejects?
It's an older movie, probably from the 80s, maybe 70s or 80s.
Oh, I don't
maybe
know.
One of the people in the chat.
Yeah, you'd have to give us more direction on what the story was about. It was
not Clarence Clearwater Revival, Allman Brothers. One of those, a really popular song. But it was a family of killers. They had a house. It was almost kind of like Texas Chainsaw.
Motel Hell?
No.
Uh-oh, that's Greg and Mortis's favorite movie, Motel Hell. So Carl gave
I'll
him
be back. I gotta go pee.
Okay.
Carl gave him a stiffy with the kiss talk. Now we're talking about Motel Hell. This guy may just lose himself.
It's killing me that I can't think of the name of the movie
Well,
or the song.
you're kind of giving us the plot of like a lot of movies from the 80s, so it's really hard to figure out.
That Bon Jovi movie sticking in my head, Wanted Dead or Alive, but it's not that one.
Yeah, that's I
think it's an Allman. Yeah, and I think it's an Allman Brothers song.
But she's saying it's earlier, guys, so that it can't be House of a Thousand Corpses.
That could be it. House of a Thousand Corpses.
Well, House of a Thousand Corpses, that was 2004.
Well, what's the soundtrack for that? House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses doesn't have a lot of older music. It has a lot of Rob Zombie's music, but it does have some older music in it.
Does it have something by the Allman Brothers?
Trying to think. I know the Devil's Rejects has just about everybody from the 70s in it.
Yeah, and maybe it was the Devil's Rejects.
Well, Devil's Rejects, they're kind of at a motel.
Yeah, I gotta get my phone. Oh my god, my phone's been under me this freaking time.
Freebird.
Not Freebird.
I can't think of. I know they have a Tiny Tim song in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, no.
I know there's a Betty Boop song in House of a Thousand Corpses. I know there's multiple Rob Zombie songs in House of a Thousand Corpses. But I can't think of like an Allman Brothers song or anything like that.
Yeah, that's the clown from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Is it this one right here?
Yeah, that's the clown. Soundtrack. Okay.
Yeah, maybe thinking Devils. Midnight Rider as the beginning.
Midnight Rider, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
Devil's Rejects.
That's Devil's Rejects.
Okay, There we go. Thank you.
Rob Zombie film.
Okay, Rob Zombie. Okay, that's it. Thank you. It's driving me crazy.
And again, one of my top favorite movies of all time. It's in my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So we can agree on something.
Yeah, Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects.
I love House of a Thousand Corpses. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I have Captain Spaulding tattooed twice on my body. I have him here and also on my leg. But there's something special about the bleakness and the grittiness of Devil's Rejects, and then you combine it with that awesome soundtrack. Probably
that soundtrack.
It's probably the best soundtrack in a horror movie ever. When you talk about putting music. Now, I'm not talking about scores, because there are better scores in movies.
Yeah, that's it. I love the soundtrack for that
as far
movie.
As soundtracks go.
Yeah, that really made that movie good for me. Yeah. Yes.
Tiny Tim was my hero. Brian, why? You're right. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should go lay down.
Strangeland was fucking awesome. I wish they would fucking do a remake of that.
Of what one?
Strangeland with Dee Snider.
Oh.
I thought that was just a random outburst until I looked at chat and saw Pearl and said something about it. I was like, okay, buddy, calm down.
Probably that's got to be in my top 10 fucking movies for sure, man.
Really? It's that high?
Yeah. I love that movie.
Funny story. That's the first movie my wife and I ever had relations to.
What one?
Strangeland. I put it on because I was like, she's not going to watch this movie. I'm going to get lucky. And it worked.
You got lucky.
It just had such a good story to it, you know?
I mean, I owned it. So, I mean, that's why I had it on, because I own it. This was back in the day when we had to put a DVD in the DVD player.
I'm waiting for them to release it on Blu-ray, man. I'm trying to replenish my Blu-ray collection.
Yeah.
You know, I got a bunch of DVDs, burnt DVDs, regular DVDs.
These are my last 2 purchases here. They're still sitting in front of me.
Oh, Terrifier. Yeah.
Yeah. They're still sitting in front of me. I haven't put them away yet. And then what's funny is I have to do a giveaway at some point because you see, sorry, my pool
Oh my
table's a mess.
gosh.
Do you see all of this?
Yeah.
All of that is actually extra movies that I've purchased that I didn't realize I owned. So
Okay.
like
That
I
you've
have
got on Blu-ray and that you've had on DVD or whatever.
no. I keep all those. If I have it on Blu-ray, I keep it on DVD, blah blah blah. But I have 3 Blu-rays here that I've already previous purchased that I purchased again. So there's 47 meters down, uncaged, The Nun, King Kong versus Godzilla from like the 70s.
Oh, I
Or
love the
60s.
King
cool.
Kong and Godzilla movie.
So those are the Blu-rays. Then on VHS, I have Monty's Python, The Meaning of Life, Sabotage from Alfred Hitchcock, Hannibal, the original 1989 Batman, 1991 Silence of the Lambs,
Good movie.
Disney's Fantasia, and the original Superman the movie on VHS
Ooh.
in a clamshell. And that's why I bought it, because I was like, oh, it's a clamshell. I got to buy it. Well, then I got it here and I went to put it away and I have a clamshell of Superman already. So I'm like, okay, well, that was dumb. So I need to do a giveaway or something because I'm sitting here on all these movies. And there's a bunch of sorry, my again, it's a mess over here, but you see all of those other
Oh my gosh.
clamshell VHSs that I still have to put away.
That's cool though that you do the VHS thing, man.
Well, you guys might be able to see. Can you see some of my here?
Oh yeah! Wow, look at that.
So these, I keep all my VHSs up above my head there. That's
Holy
part.
cow.
That's part of it, and the rest it wraps around the room.
I wish I could find a VHS player, man, that works.
You know where you go? Go to Goodwill.
True.
Yeah, I've thought about that. Yeah, for sure.
Goodwill is the goat when it comes to finding VHS stuff.
Just throw a cleaner in it and it works.
It works. Yeah, that's what I did. I actually I took the top off of mine and then cleaned the heads and stuff with some rubbing alcohol and things like that. But it worked pretty good. It wasn't too bad. Pearl says with eyes wide open. You're talking about the Creed song?
Creed? Oh my god.
Oh no, wait, no,
Really?
that's with arms wide open. Never mind.
Is that a movie, Eyes Wide Open, with Tom Cruise?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah.
That was like the last what's his name movie.
Was that Tom Cruise?
Yeah, Tom Cruise and what's his name directed it. Fuck, I can't think of his name.
Coppola.
No, not Coppola.
For Eyes Wide Shut, it was Coppola, wasn't it?
No, it was
Kubrick.
Come on,
Kubrick.
chat.
It was Kubrick. It was Kubrick.
Oh,
Kubrick. Yeah, that's
Kubrick.
it.
It was Kubrick. My bad.
And I guess supposedly that was supposed to be a narrated movie. And there's a copy of it somewhere that has the narration of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
you were talking about Arms Wide Open with Creed, you weirdo. With arms wide open under the sunlight.
You know, they made more money on this recent tour that they did than the whole time they were big.
Here's this weird thing. Like I said earlier about my kids playing the music, right? They play Creed like it's a popular modern band. Like they would like put some Creed on. I'm like, are you doing this ironically or are you like legit liking Creed? Like, I'm not sure. Like, I can't tell if you're trolling me or not, or you're being legit and you like Creed. Don't crack on Creed. I don't believe it or not, Jessica and I were both at the Creed concert in Cleveland, Ohio with 2 different people. I was with my fiance at the time. She was with her fiance at the time. And we saw each other there. We both liked each other. We were both like kind of crushing on each other because we knew each other in high school. And this was my going into my senior year, her freshman year of college. We saw each other and we were still kind of crushing on each other. And that was the last time we saw each other until I went to college the next year. And she was in my class and I went up to her and I said, "Hey, I know you. I can sit next to you. You can keep me awake." She has been stuck with me for the last 22 years because of that.
Aww.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, 20, 23 years, 22 years,
27
24
years.
I don't know. It was 2000. It was late 2001. So however many years that is.
2001.
24. 2001. It's 2025 now.
Yeah, so it'll be 24 years in
22 years,
August
23 years.
that we started dating, and then technically our actual date, like starting dating, was February 14th of.
What?
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What's a good Valentine's Day movie to review for this year?
Love Actually.
What's that?
My Bloody Valentine?
Well, we've done both of them already.
Oh. I'm like,
hello?
No, this is Walmart put out. This is the remake. I didn't have the remake on Blu-ray, so this is a Blu-ray digital of the remake because I didn't own that on Blu-ray. Wolfman's a Valentine's movie? Oh, this is never mind. I am really blind because that says Halloween. It doesn't say Wolfman at all. A Deborah Hill production. It's not Halloween. What, Ryan? What is it? A Deborah Hill production. It's not Halloween. I don't know what that is. What else you got, Brett?
I really don't have not much else other than I got to do some shout outs. Recently, as everybody might know, our good friend and mentor Jerry Pauly passed away.
Yeah.
From the Hillbilly Horror Stories podcast. And I had a bunch of shirts left over from the convention last year, so I put them out for sale for people to buy, and all the money is going to go to his wife, Tracy Pauly. And
that's awesome.
I'm just going to shout out everybody real quick. First off, we got Christine Laboda from here in Texas. He got 3 shirts. Next, we got Rachel Gordon from the UK. She bought a shirt. Susie Higdon from Louisville, Kentucky. Aurora Jordan from New Zealand. And she paid like twice what the shirt cost for shipping.
I believe it.
To get a shirt to New Zealand. So big shout out to her. I don't think she's even got it yet. She said that they got to wait on their mail. They only get their mails.
Well, anything that goes through customs there is like legit strenuous to go through customs and anywhere in Australia and New Zealand. So,
and next we got Sean Lehman from the
Mako
podcast, Middle Aged and Creeped Out. He bought 2 shirts.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Misty Wagner, she got a gift from me. She's like one of our friends that she's an indie filmmaker.
You gave her a gift. You don't give me shit. You give what? I mean, you give me shit constantly, but
and my awesome dispatcher from work, Katie Price, gave her a Christmas gift. I gave her a shirt, but I paid the gifts. I put my own money in. So, and Carl, I got him a birthday present. So, and I put that money towards going towards Tracy. So, thank you everybody for buying a shirt and appreciate it.
I will go on and also purchase one to go to Tracy because I they're great people. I've got to meet them in person at one of the horror conventions, and they were super nice and very outgoing. It was sad when I saw that what happened, and it sucks. So yeah, I will also purchase one. So just remind me, send me a message and say, hey, don't forget to buy this because I will forget.
But so altogether, it's about $300 going to Tracy. So
that's awesome. And count me in for a shirt too, Brett. I'll do one for my husband.
I just wasn't allowed to purchase anything because I have so many t-shirts, and every time I buy a t-shirt, I have to throw one away, and that's like throwing away.
Well, we only got large and extra large left, so
okay, well that's
good.
good.
You're probably a 2X guy, right?
I'm a 2X guy because otherwise they're not long enough. So like I'm like this weird extra large tall kind of thing. And like so I have to buy a 2X for it to fit right. And then they're still like they're really wide at the bottom, but like not long enough because I have this really weird long torso. It's kind of annoying.
So you're fat like me.
No, like I have this really long torso. I mean, I am fat, but see how short this shirt is? Like it's really short.
Yeah, I know they do need to make longer ones, huh?
Like
for sure.
I have really short I'm 6'2", but I only have a 32-inch inseam. So it's like really weird.
I got little legs.
I got little legs. Trunk. I got a long trunk and little legs.
Front.
But yeah, I got large and extra large left, and
well, good. I'll buy a shirt for my wife then. I don't have to throw a shirt away. Blue 1985, Brian. Oh, that's an amazing Tim Curry 1990 It. Just saying, the best movie of 1990 that no one mentioned other than me.
Carl, yeah, we're getting some new shirts made too. We're gonna get the little thorn sign done in color. We're gonna do red, and I think we're gonna try to do red and blue. So
you need some of these.
Horns up, baby!
You need some of those on your shirt.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming on tonight for this live. Hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks, Christine, for coming on.
I'm glad I remembered.
What size shirt you need?
I'll take a large.
Okay, that'll work. I think I got one large and like 2 extra large left.
Perfect. So. I'll take the large.
It's $28 with shipping. So
okay, I'll you have Venmo, right?
I do PayPal. So.
He doesn't know.
I'll do PayPal then.
Look at him with his bifocals on. You think he knows what Venmo is?
Fuck you guys,
come on,
man. Taking them fuckers off.
They don't know what Venmo is. Come on.
I love you guys.
Hey, let me Cash App you this shit real quick.
I don't do Cash App. Don't know what it is.
Hey, Greg and Pearl are asking for the link to buy the shirt. So can you post that either
just
on
message
YouTube
me
or
on Facebook?
Send me the link and I'll send it to them. Just
all right, will do.
Okay, because I'll need the link anyway.
Just message me what they want. Have them add me on Facebook or whatever, man.
I'll do all that because
I'll do it through Messenger. That's the way I've been doing everybody else. So.
I'm telling you, I think Greg and Carl need to meet up, man. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you too, man. I think they would do a good show. I'm telling you,
they did a wrestling show. A Kiss wrestling show.
Kiss wrestling show. You hear that, Carl?
A Kiss wrestling show. No one would listen to it, but they'd have a lot of fun.
They would, man.
That's all that matters.
Oh shit.
All right, everybody. I don't know how I'm going to shut this off or what, but
I don't know either.
Hit that like and subscribe, and thanks, Greg, and thanks, anytime. Carl, for coming on earlier, and thanks, Christine, for coming on. And I love everyone that has been on here tonight. I love you with all my heart.
Thank you to my family that came on, my LTC family.
We'll do this again soon, guys.
My Mosh Pit family. Thank you so much.
I've been missing the Zoom meetings.
Yeah,
so
they're the highlight.
Sort of like a Zoom meeting, but this will be out Sunday night, 9:00. If you missed it,
and you can listen to it again just for my dumb ass. All right. Thank you guys so much. Love you.
Thanks.
Guys. Bye.